fighting in the night. Heart of gold, but ready to fight. Standing tall, doing what's right. Shining truth like a firelight. Daddy's wisdom running deep taught me promises I gotta keep. Breaking chains, leaving pain behind. Calling out the crooked kind. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. Ain't no fear when I'm around. Justice stands on solid ground. One last chance to make it right, or face the reckoning tonight. In the dark where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. In the dark, where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies. No more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again.
Warning: the following video contains strong language, which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only. Thank you for your attention. And good morning, and welcome to the Stormtrooper. Yes, I'm saying Stormtrooper because, oh God, yeah. Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Oh boy, did I! Oh, I must have really rattled someone's cage yesterday. But I need to get this out of the way before we carry on, because, like I said in my stream, good morning. Like, let's just say good morning, everybody. Great, Ammo Girl, hi sweetheart. SMN, you still sound like a sick. Anyway, Roy, hi dude, how you doing? Aussie Jen, hi. Ali's here. Helium, hello. Great. Diana, hi. Hi, everybody. First of all, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to a new stream, a new time. Oh God, I feel so relieved that I basically had to do what a real man has to do. Yeah, you just take the bull by its horns and sling it out. Oh yeah. And as you are fully aware, what could possibly go wrong? Not much went wrong. Hi Ken, how you doing? Here's the thing. I just need to cover one thing because obviously I was sent a screenshot, and it, I know that intelligence is very, very scarce with some individuals, and like I don't want to go. I said yesterday that I was going to move on, and I am moving on, and I'm done with the whole thing. But I have basically proven myself right. Hi Texas, bud. Hi sweetheart. I have proven myself right. I've also proven other people who have been observing and been monitoring what's been going on. And I've been approached by a shed load of people who even disliked me a few days ago. I have received messages. I have received voice messages on Facebook. And obviously I can't just move on and not say anything because it'll be disrespectful to them. It'll be wrong, and it'll be is it? There's a word for it. I can't think of the word. What is the word that I'm looking for? What is the word I'm looking for? Anyone? Can anyone help me out here with this word I'm looking for? It takes someone with a bigger man to walk away from any type of negativity, and we all know that narcissists and psychopaths and people with disabilities, may they be mental or physical, right? There's one side. Then you've got people who need to have control over the whole situation, right? And then you've got people who, and I consider myself this type of individual, who will say it as it is, and they'll put their cards on the table and say, right, there you go, there's the facts, there's the proof, see you later. I don't know why. I mean, I had, and I'm not going to give names out. I'm not going to identify the people that contacted me or spoke to me yesterday. And I woke up this morning with a shed load of messages, and some of them are quite happy that I've put this to bed. Some people think that I should continue with the evidence and everything I've got, and I've basically said no, it's not worth it, because all it'll do is just go around in circles, and it takes someone to break that circle. And then, but the thing is, I received one message that I am now going to verbatim, not quote. I'm going to quote it. I'm not going to read it out word by word, because obviously then people will recognize who it is. Basically, this individual has said that, yeah, my yesterday's stream, okay, was not uncalled for. It was perfectly set up to portray what needed to be shown and said. And the fact that there was no hatred or discontent, no hatred in that, they found very admirable. And that basically that, they're glad that out of everything that I took the high road and then moved away. And I responded, I said, well, the thing is, I have been the target ever since before Christmas. And they went, yes, we know. And this is one of the people who hated me. This is one of the individuals, ladies and gentlemen, Wookiees and Ewoks, members of the jury, who couldn't stand me. This is one of the people who, to this day, is even still in that camp. And I don't care. I don't judge people. But the fact that an individual who apparently hated me, who disliked me, said that means a lot to me. So to the individuals who did message me, thank you so much. I really appreciate your input. But at the end of the day, when this is done, this is done. I am moving on, and I just want to make sure that this saga ends. And I'm going to control this saga, and I'm ending it. Yes, I'm fully aware that about apparently, redacting people's names who were in that stream. Here's the thing: I did that out of respect. Okay, I respect people, so therefore I will redact names. That's the way I do it. That's the way I am. I will always redact names, no matter if it's from my own stream or if it's from any public information. I will redact the names. That is my choice. Redaction is quite a good thing because it takes away the attention from it stops people getting confused of what we're looking at. Right, when you redact stuff and you identify what you want people to look at, right, that is what I have done. So now, saying that, let's get into the better news. Right, the better news is that I'm a person who doesn't give a shit. I am way stronger than mentally, psychologically, physically than some people. And all I can say is, welcome to the new Spawn Troopers stream. No, it's not a show. It's a stream. It's a vlog, whatever you want to call it. All right. So, hi. Oh, this is fun. And guys, I'm great. And here's one thing I do want to say. And this is where the gratitude is mostly on you guys. Ooh, sorry. Mostly on you guys. Right? I like to be very thankful. I like to be very frank. And I'm going to say this very clearly. I want to be very, very frank that thank you for all of you. Okay. Thank everybody. Right. For how can I put this? For sticking with me. That's I mean, like at the end of the day, you choose who you want to be associated. You choose, funny enough, like my subs went up to 653 yesterday, and they went back down to 651. It doesn't bother me. This is the whole thing, and this is what I need to make sure that people understand. It's not about the subs. It's not about the clout. It's not about the views. It's about the communication between the creator or the influencer or the creator, whatever you want to call someone who does this, right? And its audience, you guys. And I want to be thankful I am very thankful to you guys for being who you are, who you are unbiased, and you choose what you want to hear and what you don't. If you don't believe something, you'll say so. If you believe it, you don't care. All you want to do is be entertained and talk about shit. And what we're going to do, we're going to talk about shit. I know other people have already covered all this, but it's nice to hear it from my point of perspective and my thing. Yeah. Right. So on that note, the whole time I had that there. That's funny, right? I mean, like, yeah, there's things there that yeah, all right. There's things there, people that like on these little icons at the bottom there. Don't worry about that. All these are, yeah, okay. So don't worry about that. You're gonna go, oh yeah, he's got, oh, what is it called? Oh yeah, he's got sound alerts. Oh, he's got stream code. Oh, he's got all this. Oh, he's got this. Oh, he's got that. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, yes, I do have other platforms I go on, and I tell you one thing, I am quite, I do exactly the same there as I do here, but on there, obviously, I'm playing games. Oh, I've got a message. Yeah, I like that one. That's a good picture. Anyway, don't distract me from private messages, people. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Anyway, yeah, so there you go. I know there's a lot of individuals out there, and I could name a shed load of people who are hypocrites, who are liars, who are drama seekers, who are toxic, who have nothing in life but accept what they get. I've seen it. No, I can't show it right now. I'll show it later. Right? Yeah. The thing. Here's the thing. Right? See, that's distracted me now. That's distracted me now. Now I forgot what I wanted to say. Do you know when it's not important, you forget about it, but when it's important, you can't remember it? Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'll deal with you later. Yes, I knew I forgot. So my Dr. Pepper. I'll be right back. 1 second. Right, here's the thing. Everyone, right, hear me out on this one. Everyone, okay, wants to achieve their goal. Everyone wants to, yeah. Everyone wants to achieve their goal, regardless of, what that goal is. And I wish them all the luck. But when you try to achieve a goal by using other people as a stepping stone, or by lying, or by being dishonest, the day will come when you get caught out. It's okay, SMN, don't worry about it. Tammy Pearson, hi. Right? It takes a lot for someone who has witnessed or seen that to not say anything. But the thing is, if you don't say anything, all you're doing is you're enabling that type of behavior. And the way I see it is that some people just need to learn and understand that their behavior cannot be accepted. Now, I'm a type of person, right? Here's one thing you need to remember. Never ever take my kindness for my weakness. Never think that I cannot take care of myself. Never believe that I am unable to fight back. Never think that I don't have the power, the strength, or the resolve to complete what I need to do to protect myself or my friends. I will treat everyone with respect, even people who I don't like, even people who I despise. But I do draw a line. Now, over the past months, I have done a lot of research on a lot of people. And recently I've done some digging on some people. And I've also got a couple of friends in the States who I am collaborating with, who are also doing some research because I can't do certain research over here. And we found out a lot about a lot of people. And some people who we know very well, haven't been as honest as they've been saying. So here are some facts. Honesty is always a good step for you to progress in life. Now, there are people who have assumed my age. There are the people who have assumed the valley or the town I live in Wales. And there's people who have tried everything. So here's a word of advice. We are already aware of what's going on. And we are giving you the benefit to desist now before you open a can of worms that you won't be able to close. I am a very, very friendly person. I will go out my way to help anyone. I am a seeker. I enjoy research. I have made a lot of very good friends, and I have learned one thing is always trust your gut. And I trust my gut, and I also trust my friends. Now, the friends I got in the States, um, and one in Canada, to be exactly in Calgary, or just outside Calgary, going towards Medicine Hat in Alberta. And in the States, we're talking Houston, we're talking what do you call it, Montana, all right, and we're also talking Idaho, all right. So I've got 3 friends who I've served with, who now well, there's a couple more, but that's beside the point. Right, there's 3 friends in the States alone who have been watching and observing, and you know they're not they think that this Otter Creek, this whole Lynette Preston thing, they think it's absolutely insane. They think it's it's insanity, and the fact that some of this stuff is uncalled for, like the behavior from Lynette and John Cook and everything else. They think it's absolutely insanity. But they also are basically doing me a favor as well. So if you hear the buzzing, it's not a drone, it's them. All right. So don't worry about it. Nothing illegal is going to happen. Nothing illegal will happen. Nothing illegal has happened. Basically, any research that is done publicly on public records in regards of like the interwebs and Googles, and also Department of Justice, and like any criminal convictions, stuff like that. Right? There are websites, there are public websites for the public to like a FOIA request or anything like that. So I decided to take that step because of what's been going on over the last month, 2 months. And obviously, I'm very, very fucking surprised. And because of allegations and other stuff that's been said, I now that they have now forced my hand, and basically forcing my hand to now do the research that obviously some people are unwilling or don't know how to do, or unwilling to bring forward the evidence to either put it to bed or to prove them wrong. So I've decided to do it myself. Like I said, public records only. Nothing unbeknown to me. Unbeknown. What do you mean? Nothing unawkward or how can I put it? Unsavory will happen. It's basically a lot of people don't realize that anything that goes on the internet will at some point be archived, and a lot of people don't understand that archived stuff will stay there for a long time. So whatever you've done in the past, on the online or as a character or as yourself or whatever, anything connected to you will always be online, and this is a fact. All right, it's basically archived. Excuse me. It would be a good idea to actually unmute myself. Right. Now, thank you. Right, here's another thing. Over the last 24 hours, we have found out that not just Bubbles, but also Randy have had their wrists slapped due to these summary motions. Right, and I've been calling it. I've been saying that this is going to happen. That the judge is going to fucking go, I've had enough, done, and he has. So they now it's because this is what Bubbles want. This is what Bubbles wanted. This is what Bruce wanted. He wanted to control the narrative, and what he's done, he's put in so many motions, okay, that he's basically pissed the judge off, and now the judge is gone. Right, you've only got one motion to put in. So I would strongly suggest you wait until it's due, and then you bring it in. Hi, Mary. Hi. Good morning. Diana, it doesn't matter if you yeah. So yeah, I mean, like, I was sitting in Squid Pro Crow's stream yesterday, and she was going through the motion, the response from the judge, and boy, I like that judge. I like this judge. He is going to this court case is going to be, it's going to be one-sided. Bruce is not going to win on it. They're not going to win. They're not going to win one bit. I'm predicting it right now. I'm calling it right now. Irregardless if Jeremy's side are losing, certain articles, or, it doesn't matter. The fact it gets better. The fact that that Deuce Boy decided to email someone who was someone who's on, I don't know if they're there or not, but the fact that this person was on maternity leave, and they emailed this person with libel and defamation, and I mean, why are you contacting? Look, one of the motions was the fact that this interference with the income from Jeremy Hells. And what do? You decide to not use your fucking brain, and you decide to go and contact Whatnot. And you're bragging about it publicly on someone's platform who have been continuously character assassinating and defaming Jeremy Hells over the last 6 months, and grifting as well. And the fact that, I mean, we all know, we've all heard everything, but I'm putting it into my own perspective. It doesn't matter, Diana. You don't have to. I saw it. You don't worry about it, sweetheart. You don't have to delete anything. You say what you want in this household, okay? Mi casa, su casa. All right. Anyway, the fact that I mean, when I was listening to it, because this is what I do. I sit in the back. I sit in the shadows, and I watch what's going on. And I was absolutely gobsmacked. The fact that this guy is so stupid. I mean, do you know what? A goldfish that only has a memory of 3 seconds, a goldfish is more intelligent than this guy. The fact that you would contact a business partner, considering everything else that's been said and happened in regards of Jeremy's loss of business, loss of income because of you and because of your client. And what do? You go to Whatnot. But here's the thing. Luckily, Jeremy preempted that. Luckily, it was already preempted, and they knew that this was going to happen. So they protected themselves. But the fact that he did that, good morning, Eric. The fact that he did that if there's anyone out there who has any intelligence whatsoever, should know by now what's going on. Right? You should know what's going on. The fact that, suddenly, right, Mr. Loofman, Mr. Magoo, yeah, don't you find it strange that, 1 minute they're all together, and now suddenly Mr. Magoo and Volpe, this freaking homeless guy, right, now they're suddenly sort of sliding away, and they're trying to make their own storyline, their own narrative, and then you got it. This is absolutely insanity. This is insanity. And the thing is, there's a lot of mental health. I think there's a lot of mental health issues going on, because a lot of these actions would be construed as mental health. Now, I'm not a type of person to put anyone down who's got mental health. The people who've been attacking me and who've been spreading lies about me over the last few weeks, mental health. The way Lynette Preston and John Cook behave, mental health. The way other people have been behaving, sometimes in a psychotic way, right? But there's mental health. Yeah. There's a lot, and the thing is, people will then turn around and then use that as an excuse, which has happened, right? Mental health has been used, right? The mental health card's been used, the race card's been used, the sexual orientation has been used, everything has been used, but no one will actually stand there and go, do you know what? Yeah, you're right. I was out of order. I was bang out of order. I shouldn't have done that. But no one does that. No one actually stands their ground and says, do you know what? My actions were wrong. I should have not said that. I shouldn't have not done that. I shouldn't have fucking But no one does that. And this is what people from outside of America, outside people in Europe and everyone else is seeing. Okay. And then people want, I mean, I've got American friends. I've served with American friends. And the thing is, you can't tar one nationality the same with the same brush because of one individual. You can't, or because of a minority. You can't do that. It's not fair. It's not right. It's unjustified. But the thing is, you've got over 5,000 individuals in a what the hell's hate group. Yes, I am in that group as well. All right. You've got over 5,000 individuals. Some of them are just there for the lols. Some of them are there for attention. A lot of them are there for attention. But and then the rest is just drama and hate or hiding your identity. I mean, the fact that we've already proven that an individual who made a post of another individual whose grandson or a relative decided to get someone, right, to find out the address, the IP, and the real name of that individual. I could post that right now, and I could show you that right now. I personally was pulled into that conversation. But the third individual decided not to type a lot because here's the thing. This is one of the clever moves. When you notice that you've got more than 3 people or 2, 3 people, 4 people in a group, and you notice that one person is not typing a lot, right? It's a strategy. It's a technique. Hi, Blue. Right? It's a reason. There's a reason why they don't do that. It's because it's plausible deniability. They will send, oh well, I didn't, I muted it, and I don't know what was going on in that. But here's the problem: when you've got not just that, right? When you've got all this, then you've got a crazy lawyer who thinks that the law, comes out. Here's the problem, and I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to mention it again today. It's called Section 9.1, or is it Section 914-22 and Section 914-23 under the federal state RICO statute. Everything that's happened, the behavior of Bruce Matskin and other people involved in this, right? You've got the triangle of deceit. You've got the individuals, you've got the money, and you've got the lies, the falsification. So you've got the individuals, then you've got the money, and then you've got the information. Now that's the triangle. It's just like the triangle of fire, right? Yeah. Now, but this time you've got the triangle of dishonesty. Yeah. So you've got, and that's what needs to be looked at. The fact that you've got people contacting, the fact that one of the main reasons this is going on, and the main reason why it's going to federal court, is because it's affecting the income and the livelihood of Jeremy Hells. And what does that absolute clown do? Not once, but twice, and 3 times your lady. He contacts Whatnot. Now, we've all heard from different variations. We've got different variations of how people have put this story across. We've all heard it, right? But I'm a type of person, I don't beat around the bush and try to be nice about it. I say it as it is. There's a lot of things happening that come under this, the federal and the state and federal statutes of RICO. And I wonder if that in some way, or if that's going to pop up anywhere. Because let's put it this way: wasn't it a few months ago? Didn't one of the Crowbags, aka Lisa Rabusi, well, now what? Ooh, ooh! Information from the United States of America. Hello, what are you saying? Good information. Oh, this is good. This is good. Thank you very much, my good friend. All right. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, that's good news. Oh, that's very good news. Someone is in trouble. Nee, 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 nee. Right. Anyway, so yeah, so a few months ago, right, he got this Womblegob, this absolute disgrace to humanity. The best part of her ran down her mother's leg when she farted. All right. Trying to threaten Jeremy and other people with this RICO thing. However, what she didn't realize is that the table was going to about by the way, not bring it here, but I'm highly sure I know the voice, not 100%, but closed eyes, listening for 50 minutes on voice. It was closed just to wait, what? So Mitch, not in here, please. But thanks very much. We'll chat privately, okay? I did mention that. I did mention that when we spoke. Anyway, so yeah, but you find it very interesting that now the tables have turned, and the fact that their behavior and everything else has slowed right down. Before, they were on it day in, day out, day in, day out, day in. They were going live for 5-6 hours. They were attacking on the attack continuously. They were ripping people, and they've been even mentioning me, and I'm glad they mentioned me because that shows that they fear me, and I hope they do. Because I'm unpredictable. I am an unpredictable son of a bitch. And I hope everyone else takes a page out of that book, what they've got, because I am unpredictable. I've already dealt with one absolute clown, and I can deal with other clowns. I have dealt with multiple clowns since I've been sort of engaged in this topic and everything else. And I've moved on, as you can tell. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are making mistakes. They're making very little simple mistakes, but they're giving out the wrong signals. There's a lot of people who are posting anonymously. However, they're going into other people's streams and they're typing as themselves. Yeah. You see what I mean? You see? It only after a while. Here's the thing: what people need to remember: there are people who are trained, okay, to recognition, right, to remember stuff, recognition, like vehicle recognition, aircraft recognition, train recognition, vehicle recognition, weapon recognition, right. But one thing you seem to forget, right, is that after a while, yeah, your typing style, your grammar, your spelling, your wording, yeah, is recognized. And this is where a lot of people make that mistake. And this is why a lot of people get caught out. Now, I could point out at least 5 people, or 4 people actually. I can happily say there are 4 people who I know 100% are posting anonymously. But here's the thing: when you post anonymously, you lose all credibility. Every ounce of credibility when you post. Now, when it comes to in regards of the court case, and in regards of Bruce Matskin and his behavior, Don't you worry. Don't you worry. The sanctions and the repercussions for his actions will come back to bite him in his ass. Right? And that goes for everybody. Look, Randy Socket is a lawyer, but both sides will get told off and get their hands slapped. Right? They'll get their wrist slapped if the judge believes that they need to be slapped. Now, here's the thing. When you look at this whole situation, the amount of motions that Deuce Boy has put in, every time he's put a motion in, right, Randy Socket has rebutted. He's basically responded, right? And that's what Deuce wanted. He wanted to do it, he wanted to get it in so many times that he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. Because now he doesn't have to concentrate on all these other things. He just needs to concentrate on one thing. When he puts his final motion in, right, the final summary, he only has to do it once. So that means he's now got more time on everything else. So now he can open up his Pandora's box and come out with all these other stupid motions. And I can tell you right now, that's going to happen. But anyway, we digress. So here's a word of, when I was saying the other day, in the last couple of live streams, I was saying, everyone should go and post as anonymous. There was my reason for that. Think about it. Why would someone say, go and post anonymously? Post anonymously on that Facebook page and watch what happens. Seriously. If everyone posted anonymously on that website page, you wouldn't be able to distinguish between the shit stirrers, the troublemakers, or someone who's just having a bit of fun. And that would then take away all credibility what these idiots are doing every time when they post anonymously. When they try to go after me or they go after other people, right? It would take away all credibility. That's the reason everyone should post anonymously. Oh my fucking God. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. And that's exactly what needs to happen, because the thing is, if you take away, and this is fact, if you take away the credibility of someone who posts anonymously, all right, here's the thing. The reason they post anonymously is because they know what they're doing is wrong. Point one. Point two, they know that if they post it themselves, right, they will become the ridicule of that group. Three, right, they post it as themselves, right, they can lose credibility on that name. We know that a lot of people use multiple accounts. Luckily, I'm not one of them. I just got my one account and I'm happy with that. It's fucking bad enough for just one, right? But when you post anonymously, this is also shows insecurity as well. This shows how insecure that individual is. That means that person doesn't have the assertiveness or the granula to be themselves. And this is what you find on the internet. There's a lot of people who in real life wouldn't be behaving the way they are now. Right. So therefore, what they would do is, oh, for fuck's sake. I tell you one thing, you guys need to stop doing this shit. I'm getting a lot of information back. Oh, yeah. Right. So here's the thing. You, JC, know nothing about the signs, and how did they know they was out only 400 before daylight? Right. Here's the thing. Right. Let me just explain that, Tammy. Let me just. There's no such thing as LP don't know nothing about these signs. Right. Let me explain something to you. When you are caught with your pants down, and we've come across a lot of people who've been caught with their pants down, right? So let's just stop everything and let's just answer this one question, because I think that people do believe that Lynette Preston and John Cook, right, they're starting to believe what they're saying. What they're saying is a lie. They are fully responsible for this, because even a untrained eye can see that some of the signs that have been written by them that had nothing to do with Jeremy, right, have the same lettering and the same writing style and the same sort of font or the same way, right? They did write those, but there was another person involved, because the thing is, right, they both threw each other under the bus, not just in the Ohio court, but down in Otter Creek as well, in Levy County Court, right? They both threw each other under the bus, and they have admitted indirectly by throwing each other under the bus that they are responsible for those signs. All right. And the thing is, I am not going to turn around 100% and say, yes, they did that, until I hear that handwriting expert. Once I hear that handwriting expert that Jeremy has employed, right, then I will put my sixpence in, or whatever, 5 pence in, whatever, my opinion in, right? Because this is where people get confused, because there's so many people saying so many different things. You need to stay with the facts. And the best way to do that is stay with Jeremy Hales and what he is saying, because everyone else will have their own little way of explaining stuff. Like, look, like me, like anyone else. So the best way to do is to listen to Jeremy Hales, listen to what he says, because at the end of the day, right, he has first-hand experience. He has those signs. His attorney, his law team have those signs. So the only people who can answer it is him, his counsel, Lynette Preston, John Cook, and whoever the other party was. So until it goes into federal court, until it's actually they are that information and they are on a witness stand and that stuff goes through questioning, right? Speculation is the last thing people should do. Because at the end of the day, this is why it is difficult to keep track of what's being said and what's going on, because so many people have so many different variations of what's happening. So I can tell you right now, right, the reason they're denying it is because they're being caught with their pants down. So they will always say, no, it wasn't me. No, it wasn't me. But here's the thing. John Cook said it was her. She said it was him. So why would they throw each other under the bus and then afterwards deny everything? They can't, and this is the problem. They can't keep the lies straight. Anyone who lies, right, unless you're a fucking actor and you can read scripts and you got photographic memory. And they have made a lot of mistakes. So, Tammy, there you go. There's the answer for that. And the fact of the matter is that a lot of people are there's a lot of people who have come into this. You know, I mean, there was someone who didn't even know a while back who came onto the scene, didn't even know who Scott Stark was. And if you didn't know who Scott Stark was, and you couldn't get the prison sentence right, what makes you think? What makes you a specialist, or what makes you an expert in the topic? It doesn't. Because you haven't done the research. You haven't sat down and have actually read all the documents. That's why I don't get involved with the court documents, or I don't get involved per se as much as I did before, because at the end of the day, I'm not interested in this back and forth. I'm interested in the actual factual court cases. And when the federal court case kicks in, that's when I'm going to come back to the surface and I'm going to start coming back into the light. And that's when I'm starting going to get involved again. My research on individuals that I did prior and that I've done so far and that I'm doing at the moment, it's irrelevant. What's relevant is what's going on, the actions of people. And looking at what Bruce has done, looking at the reactions from the judge, looking at the reactions from Randy Shockett, right? It all needs to be, observed. And that's what I'm doing. I am observing. I mean, I do make comments on certain things. I will say certain things, from my perspective, which a lot of people misinterpret or misunderstand, and they think I'm saying something else. But that's their paranoia or their inability to actually understand the English language, which is, just one of those. Oh, wait. What's this? Oh. And that's why I just sit in the shadows and I watch. And there's been things that I've seen that if I mention now, a lot of people get very fucking embarrassed very quickly. I mean, the fact here's the thing. I hadn't been when I started getting involved or interested in this. I didn't mention anything. I was posting. I made a couple of posts, and yes, everyone is involved. That includes Shara Michelle as well. But she has stepped away from the that negativity, and she's actually proven a lot what I've said and a lot what other people have said to be true. And she was taken for a ride. She was, her knowledge and her ability to write and her ability to research things was taken advantage of, and that by Deuce Boy. Deuce Boy is a bully. He is a bully. He if you put him in a situation where he can't bully someone, I don't think he'll be walking around with his chest out as much as he does. And that not just goes for him. That goes for a lot of people. There's a lot of people who think that they think they know it all, but you don't. You don't. That's one of the reasons why this whole situation is getting out of hand. And I mentioned this before. It's like you've got people who, behind closed doors, they'll talk shit about anybody. They'll talk shit about Tug, Megan Fox, Shizzy, me, anybody, right? But on their platforms, it's all, hi, how you doing? And this happens with everybody. And that's the biggest issue, right? Because everyone wants to get their clout. Everyone wants to get their one moment of fame. It's like that guy in a Johnny Depp street when the plaintiff, her defense turned around and said, "Oh, you just wanted that 15-minute fame." And that quote, that saying, has been going on for a long time now, because people say, "Oh, you just want that 15-minute fame," Well, if I wanted 15-minute fame, don't you think I'd be milking it like if it was going out of fashion? Don't you think that my profile, my channel would be monetized and everything else like everyone else? That's the difference. I'm here for the facts. I'm here for the truth, and this is the problem. People will see stuff, and they'll see like the court documents. I saw the court documents come out, and then while I was reading them, an actual fact, while I was listening to someone else's stream, some new documents came out. I think the response from the judge. Yeah, and this is the fun part. I wasn't interested in that. I wanted to see what happens with this other document. So in the end, I spent 2.5 hours last night reading through all the documents and then doing some research online about laws and about, so and so versus so and so, and actually reading it. And in the end, I just gave up, because at the end of the day, I'm not a lawyer. If I want to know something, I'll listen. If I've got a question, I'll ask it. If someone's got the answer, I'll listen to it. But we all know that the response that we saw from the judge, should send out waves of volumes of, hey, enough's enough, douchey boy. I think you've had your time. I think you've had enough fun now. Let's get down to the real business, shall we? And now Bruce has gone and made so many mistakes, and this is going to come back to bite him in the ass legally. And also, like I said, I don't think he's going to have his license to practice law after all this. I think he has committed professional suicide. I think he's committed professional suicide when it comes to work. He will not be a lawyer after this case. He will lose his license, not just because of his behavior, but I think that with the Connecticut Bar Association watching him, and as far as I'm aware, there have been complaints made to the Massachusetts and to the Florida Bar Association. And the fact that and I've been saying this from day one, this was about 7 months ago, probably even longer. The fact that he's broken nearly every model rule in the professional and ethical standards of the American Board Association, which is the basically the holy grail for lawyers. That should say volumes. That should speak volumes. And there you go. And now we've got witness intimidation. We've got threats to witnesses. John Cook walking into the trading place, walking back out, trying to antagonize Travis. I mean, I've watched that. Yeah, I've watched that video, and I've watched every single video that Travis has put up about that. And I've watched it multiple times. I've actually, I mean, at one point I actually recorded all the video, all that bit, just to put it into one perspective. And I can tell you right now, the only reason John Cook went into there was to provoke Travis. There was nothing else. Travis didn't trip him up, because if he had tripped him up, right, okay, John Cook is the type of person he wouldn't have walked away. He would have turned around. John Cook was walking away, and if you watch his body language, right, he was afraid. He knew that he was in the wrong. So when it's a flight and fight. Now, if you watch his body language, he's walking away. He's walking very calmly. He's looking in different directions, like he's acting nothing. It's like basically what you do. You put yourself in your little own world of cocoon, and you say, "Oh, I can't hear him. No, looking around and get in a car." Right. And the fact that with apparently his bad knees and apparently his really, really crippled that he can't bend down, he got into that freaking car very quickly. And the fact that he had that smile on his face, because I don't think people actually saw that smirk on his face when he drove off. Go and watch it again and watch it frame by frame, and you'll see him smirk. And then when he drives past, right, and he's driving towards Travis's truck that's parked, you can see it, right? You can see him put his hand out and give him the bird. Now, if someone tripped me up, and if it was me in that situation and someone tripped me up and made an accusation that I tripped them up, or, they tripped me up, I would be in your face so close, you'd feel my heartbeat. I would be so close to you, you would feel my heartbeat. If you try to trip me up, because I want a reason why you did it, and I want to find out how you want to follow through. And if you watch, John Cook didn't do that. And in fact, it was the other way around. Because all that space, but watch how close John Cook walked past him. Now, cameras can perceive, cameras put on a bit of weight in it, so that you got closeness and, distance. So it's just like mirrors. It says on your mirror in America, it says on your mirrors, objects could be closer than they are in the mirror, right? Yeah. Yeah. So if Travis watches this video, I'm going to say, Tube Town Travis, I can't. Let me tell you right now, you are in the clear. You have done nothing wrong. You have done nothing wrong. You were provoked to react, and you actually gave him every opportunity to do what he needed to do. He threatened he wanted to whoop your ass. Okay, you gave him every opportunity for him to then do that. However, he drove off, and there's a thing. You only get the chance. You only get that chance once. You only get one chance. If you want to take a swing, you get one chance. That's what I have always said. If you take a swing at me, right, there are two things you need to make sure of. You make sure that you connect correctly, and you make sure that I am unalived before I hit the ground. Because if I'm not on either of them, all right, God help you. Because at the end of the day, when someone makes a threat to cause physical assault on you, you are in every right to defend yourself. The fact that John Cook walked out of there, made an accusation, threatened him, but said that he got tripped up. Now, what is it? We know that he didn't get tripped up. What we do know is that within that second of him putting the camera down and him walking out that door, okay, these words were said from John, and I quote, "One of these days, I'm going to whoop your ass." Travis picks up the camera, turns on. He says, "What did you say? What did you say?" It's common sense. If you know how to research and you know how to investigate, right? A person has within a second will react. And if he has a camera, because you have to have cameras around those two idiots, well, around Lynette Preston and John Cook, right? You are automatically going to pick up your camera, turn it on, and go bang. That there is within seconds. So if John Cook got tripped up, why was he walking away? Why was he walking away? I'll tell you what happened. Travis was on the camera talking, right? He was talking to people. He was talking to his viewers. He was giving them a little bit of an update. He was saying about whatnot and everything else, right? John Cook sees Travis's vehicle, thought, okay, then drives around and parks it right next to the entrance. Why would you park it right next to the entrance? What, to make a statement? Okay, you made a statement, right? He gets out. Obviously, he's alone in that vehicle. So he gets out of the vehicle, comes around, and walks in. Walks straight past, right? Watch his body language when he walks past Travis, when he walks into that shop. Just watch. Okay? There's two different versions of it, but the same footage, but watch it. And he walks in, but he walks in, he could have been a little bit further away from Travis. There was no need to walk that close past him, but he did. Because he wanted to be in the camera shop. He wanted to be seen. Just watch his body language and watch the way he walks in. He wanted to be seen. He does what he does. He goes, I don't know what he did, because he didn't walk in with anything and he didn't walk out with anything in his hand. There's point two. If you walk into a shop, right? I mean, to walk into a shop, ask a stupid question and then walk back out, right? It would be nice if I could actually get that piece of video and then turn up the volume and then isolate the actual voices. I probably have to do that. Anyway, so he walks out. This just before Travis puts the camera down, you can see in the corner, in the video, you can see Cook moving right. He's walking right. Yeah? Travis puts the camera down. Suddenly, the camera's back up. Going, what did you say? What did you say? So this should tell you that interaction, that was already premeditated. John Cook premeditated that interaction. Because if it had been me or anyone else, if you'd have tripped me up, trust me, we would have been doing a tango. We would have been so close we could have felt each other's heartbeat. Because that there is an attack. You try and trip someone up. So that didn't happen. The trip never happened. Right? It never happened. It was what was said. Okay? It was what was said, the verbal interaction from John Cook to Travis. That's what got that reaction. Because when Travis went out and said, what did you say? What did you say? Now, here's the thing. If you are accused of something, it's a psychological thing. Now, you can ask any psychologist, you can ask any doctor, right? When it comes to immediate threat or flight fight, you say, what did you say? I tripped you. What? I didn't trip you. What? Or what did you say? What did you just say? Right? Two different versions. So if you're going to trip someone up, you're going to bring that up. You're going to mention that. So what did you just accuse me of saying? Or what did you just accuse me of doing? What? So I can tell you right now, right, that it was a verbal reaction. John Cook, sponsored by, I wrote my story on how I got to America. I posted it on a fake page. Feel free to read it. I will do that after I finish that. So just sit back, Rattus, and I'll do that in a minute. Okay, and basically that's what I put. So it was a provocation. It was a provocation from John Cook to get Travis involved in this. Now, here's one thing I'm going to tell you about uh, uh, what's it about Willis and Tube Town and Travis and everything else. I have watched him probably around just when he first started. And one thing I'm going to say right now, that guy is probably got the biggest heart you're ever going to come across. He's very talented. He can look after himself. He's very good at what he does. And he's funny. Okay. He is, he's a fantastic human being. Right. And he's now being dragged into something that he never wanted any involvement in the first place. So let's not involve him in this. Let's leave him alone. Let's support him. Support his stream and support everything he does with Tube Town 2.0 and everything else. But, to all the haters out there, why do you have to involve people that have got nothing to do with all your bullshittery? But anyway, DJ Rattus has come in, so he wants me to read out probably about a page or two. Oh, God, why am I concerned? Oh, look who's back out. Look who's come out. Ooh, you back out of Facebook jail? Wow. Okay, let me go and have a look. What we got here? I'm not going to show it on the street. Why can't I see it? Are you sure it's in a fake Facebook group? Wait, have I been put in Facebook jail? Oh, no, I haven't. No, there you go. Well, right. Are you sure you put it in there, Raz? Huh, interesting. Oh, fucking Tube Town, baby. Tube Town, baby. Yeah. Right, let me see if I can find it. Oh, wait a minute. Why am I looking at that? New post. Wait, what? Aha! There we go. Wait, what? Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a story about Tad Greaves. 1 second. I need to change this. I need to change this. There's a reason why I've got the. I am good. I'm clever. I see shiny things. Right, where are we? Right. Where are we? There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, it is the DJ Rattus. It's a DJ Rattus story. Once upon a time, in a far, far galaxy, far, far away, there was this animal called an Australian. Okay, so here it goes. So, as I'm supposedly being busted for being here legally, here's my story. You decide if I'm here illegally or not. I began my epic journey from Melbourne, Australia. G'day, sport. What's your favourite colour, blue? With nothing but a sheer determination and a pair of goggles. Good God. I dove into the ocean and started swimming straight into the gang of tutorial crocodiles. Using my best karate moves, which I learnt from binge watching Crocodile Dundee, by the way, I managed to fight them off. But no sooner had I escaped their snapping jaws than I found myself being circled by a couple of great white sharks. One called Sheila and the other one called Shirley. Sheila and Shirley were swimming around me, so I played dead, because that always works in the movies, and somehow they lost interest. It must have been time of the month. Pushing on, I swam past Fiji, where I stopped for a moment to high-five a local fisherman. Before heading back into the vast Pacific, it wasn't long before I came face to face with a family of giant whales. One of them winked at me as to say, "Hey, baby, how you doing? You got this, mate." But by this point, my arms felt like overcooked spaghetti. So I flipped onto my back and started floating, like shit does. That's when a pod of dolphins showed up, clicking and chirping, like they were calling me a fool. Fool? But in the nicest way possible. One especially kind dolphin, I named him Steve. You all right, Steve? I'm all right, mate. Yeah. Offered me a lift. I climbed onto his back. That's what she said. And we zoomed through the waves like it was a scene from Free Willy. Oh, yeah. Eventually, I saw the haze outline of skyline. LA skyline. Steve dropped me a few miles offshore, giving me a final flip of his tail as a goodbye. I swam the rest of the way, dragged myself onto the American soil like a soggy, sunburnt mess. Lots of S's there. I spent my first few days hanging out at Home Depot. What aisle? Don't tell me. Tools. Yes. Blending in with some friendly folks who didn't speak English. Hola, ¿cómo están, hombre? But made the best street tacos I've ever had. I bet you did. Excuse me. After doing a few wink cash jobs under the table, I decided it was time to explore the great American dream, or at least truck stops along the way. Prostitution takes you everywhere, doesn't it? Anyway, I hitched rides, yeah, that's what she said, with long-haul truckers, yeah, listening to wild conspiracy theories and bonding over gas station snacks. Eventually, I found myself in Ohio. Oh, really? The mystical land that people swear doesn't exist. Oh, my. It was perfect. No one would find me here. That's what you think. They got satellites, man. I laid out low for nearly 9 years, living my full-time illegal squatter's life. One day, while browsing Craigslist, because obviously Craigslist, I found an ad. Need a new identity. Social security, driving licenses, green cards, I do it all. I met the guy, and in a dimly lit parking lot, because that's how all reputable business deals go down, and also in the movies as well, and walked away with a full set of IDs. I was now unofficially, a new person. Yeah, that's not going to happen. You look like you got dragged. Anyway, but then I felt it. Oh, yeah. I just knew I was being tracked by a super secret government agency, probably run out of Facebook HQ, also known as the Fleas or the Crumples. Complete with tinfoil hats and all. So I devised my greatest escape yet. I packed myself into a self-moved shipping crate, drilled a few holes, and labeled it fragile, special delivery to Otter Creek, Florida. Leave behind the post office. Yeah. 1 second, I need to drink. The crate rattled and rolled for days. But when it finally came to a stop, I pushed open the lid and stepped out into a moggy Florida air. I had made it. I'd swum across oceans, dodged predators, hitchhiked the American highways, and outwitted social media-fueled government agencies, all to become the ultimate full-time illegal squatter. And that, my friends, family, and haters, is how I got here. I guess I got busted. Oh dear. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Ratter story. Dum, dum, dum. That is fucking hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. Take care, Texas. Take care, sweetheart. It is absolutely funny. That is fucking hilarious. Hi, Vicky. I mean, here's the thing, though. Right now, why is it that there are people who think they're always right, regardless, even if they're wrong, and even if they're lying through their teeth, they still think they're right. I just don't get it. Anyway, there's a couple of other things I wanted to talk about, but that's fucking hilarious. That's good. I think you should make that into a song. I think you should have a song with sound effects as well. Oh yeah, yeah. There's definitely going to be, FBI, U.S. Marshals, state police, ICE, homicide. Everyone's going to get a phone call now. Of course they are. I'm surprised they haven't phoned up and say, right, prisoner 65421 is right now in Otter Creek, blah, blah, blah. These people are deluded. And yeah, there's a lot of people that are deluded. But unfortunately, if you call someone out, right, you're a hater, or you're picking on someone with disabilities, or you're anti-Semitic, or you're anti whatever, and it's like you can't win. Well, you don't have to win really, because all you have to do is wait for them to react, which, funny enough, has happened, and you prove yourself right. I mean, I've been wrong a couple of times, but lately I've been right all the time, and it's just pissing me off. I don't like being right all the time. The perfect example was yesterday's streams and the responses of that. Yeah, there you go. But we're moving on from that. And like I said, I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. And but there are certain things I am going to move away from, because one, they're waste of energy. Two, the individuals involved do have mental health issues, and they need to seek professional help. And there you go. But anyway, facts. Now, here comes the next topic. We already know what's going on with this court case, so just so you know, I will be talking about general crap when I come on live, and there will be times where we will have. What's the next picture on this one? Aha! Yes, but let's talk about more facts first before we go. It's the facts. It's the facts. All right. So, another fact, in regards to the air crash in Toronto, there's some very interesting videos coming out. And funny enough, there's one video that is very interesting. It's because while the stewardess is trying to evacuate everybody, if you watch very carefully, there's actually a woman on her phone, actually, richly sitting there going through her phone, trying to find whatever she's doing. Now, if you just crashed in an air crash, right, irregardless if you're in shock or whatever, if I was a steward or there was a stewardess, you would get grabbed by your scruff of the neck and you would be yeeted out of that plane, having phone in hand or not. So, there's a lot of discrepancies going on. However, like I said, you have to wait until the end, until everything. Now, when you watch this plane, here's another question I want to point out. If you watch the video and you watch these little shorts, there is a plane taxied, waiting at the line, right, before getting clearance to take off, and he's richly got his phone out, and he's richly watching the plane that crashes, and he's watching it come in. And if you look at, like I was saying before, when Squid was here, and we had that bit of a disagreement, right, what I was saying was actually correct. because it's been proven that he didn't raise his nose. He didn't flare. All right. Because when you watch that plane come in, and listen to what I'm saying here. All right. Don't listen to how I'm saying it. Listen to what I'm saying. This other pilot in his cockpit is filming the aircraft approach. All right. He's filming it. It passes in front of him. He films it. And then suddenly that plane hits the deck like a sack of shit, and then loses its right wing and then flips over. But then there is a video of, and by the way, that plane did not flare. Right, flaring means you bring the nose up, so so it's like you make the plane bigger, so more resistance. Right, because that's where you put your flaps down, the wing surface then becomes like a sail, and it sort of slows you down. But anyway, then there's another video where it shows the aircraft upside down, and it's a CRJ 900, and it shows the plane upside down. Now, here's one thing: what they didn't cut it right at where they should have. They wanted to cut it before the landing carriage, but when you actually go past, you will see that the plane is on its back. Okay. This is the interesting part. The plane is on its back. So that means when it's upside down, right, the closest to you, the closest wing that was still attached, right, sorry, that wasn't attached, okay, is the right-hand side of the aircraft. That's the starboard side. The other side, the left-hand side, is the port side, okay? So the front is the bow, whatever, okay? But the left and right, so you got port and starboard side, yeah, so green and red, all right? So you got green on the right, red on the left. Yeah. Port side is always red because port is red. Now, here's the thing. That plane is upside down. Yeah. So you now have the right hand side that hit the ground first. The right hand side, right, where the where the wing disappeared. Okay. The landing strut, the landing gear with the wheels is still attached. The left hand side, okay, where the wing has disappeared, the landing gear is gone. So is it me, or was there a fracture? Was there like a weak point? All right, because it doesn't make any sense, because when you watch the video, the right hand side hits the ground first. It hits the deck hard. And Squid's old man or husband who works in this, right, was correct. It was right hand heavy. So the left wing was up, right? So it hit with the rear landing gear first, and then with the left. But how come when the plane flipped, how come the landing gear, the right hand landing gear, is still there, present, but the other landing gear is gone? Considering that it was the landing gear that's still present, it was the one that hit the ground first. There's so many. Oh God, I love this stuff because it makes you think. It makes you analyze. Right? Okay, the plane came in that way. I mean, if I had my flight control and my flight sim, I would be flying that stuff right now. I would put all the settings to realism, and I would be flying that freaking plane in with the wind shear, everything. I'd set it up and right, and I'd fly that plane in, and then just see what would happen, right? And then probably land it butter. Yeah, but it's worth investigating. It's worth researching. And remember, no one was unalived. Quite a few people were injured, and a few very seriously. But from what I've heard, is that like everyone's fine, right? So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That is a really good thing. So that there's been fortunate, but yeah, that's worth looking into. Here's another thing as well. Unfortunately, there was an accident at Otter Creek, right? And unfortunately, 2 people were unalived in an accident. I'm not sure if they were walking or in a pickup, or anyway, because it's strange. Why would you cry? Anyway, that's beside the point. 2 people lost their lives. My sincere condolences and thoughts go to the family of the couple who lost their life. So my condolences to them. Channel 20. The reason I'm bringing this up, Channel 20. Channel 20 were there when they went and recorded the incident after what happened with Wes and that woman. And what happened to that child, with the weapon. It didn't bounce, Mary. It hit the ground. It didn't flare. It just went. Its flight path, its flight, its glide slope just didn't stop, because when the plane comes into land, okay, just before they land, what they do, they flare. All right, so they cut power, or they come off power a little bit. So they're controlling the power on the glide slope, and just before landing, what they'll do, they'll come down off power, and then they'll flare. And the flaring basically it brings the plane's nose up to a angle of about 3 degrees. So the main landing gear touches first, and then once that touches, they will then start slowly lowering the front nose, and obviously they got their spoilers, their wind brake, the air brakes, and the engine brakes will kick in. All right, so it's automatic spoilers, and we will deploy that. This plane didn't do it. It came in and it just went poof. It was like if their glide slope was set wrong, because like the thing is, the plane was still on a glide slope when it hit the runway, when it impacted the runway. Any plane before that would have started flaring, and you would have seen the nose rise and then the rear landing gear touch ground, but it didn't. The plane was still level when it actually hit the ground, or when it contacted the ground. Yeah, there's a big difference between, like, and I like a friend of mine, because I've been talking to other people about it. He says, have they set the sea level? Hi, Joseph. How you doing, brother? All right. The thing is, you have to set the sea level. So basically, when you're in an airport, right, that airport can be like 300 meters above sea level. It could be 500 meters above sea level. So what you have to do, you have to set your altimeter to the level you are at. Right. So if the airport is at 300 meters above sea level, you have to set that on your altimeter. Oh, fuck it, the height thing. Altimeter. There you go. And you set that to 300 on your altimeter, and then you reset it to 0. So basically, your altimeter will show you 0, but it's already automatic. It's already been set to 300 meters above sea level. Now, if you don't do that, when you're like, usually it's automatic, that like once you put on all the information, it does it automatically. But if you don't do that, then basically your glide slope will be different to the actual glide slope you have to be doing. Now, I'm not a pilot, but I've flown enough flight sim, and I've got enough friends, and I've got a basic understanding is that if you don't set your altimeter, your airport altimeter to the actual height it is, right, your glide slope will be wrong. And some pilots actually forget to do that, or it's happened in the past. And what they've done, they've cancelled the landing sequence. And what they've done, they've just gone, and that's why sometimes you'll see planes coming into land, and suddenly they hit the power, they bring up the landing gear, and they just go around and then come back in again, right? Because either they're coming into, or the wind shear, or there's too much side winds, or whatever. So hopefully that answers that question. There you go. Mary, I hope that sort of helps, but don't quote me on that. You need to find a pilot or someone who actually flies airlines to actually give you a right answer. Yeah, so there you go. And I forgot what I was going to say now. I forgot there was something else I was going to talk about. Oh, bollocks. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Channel 20. Here's the thing. Now, I know that they cover Otter Creek and all that. Why wouldn't it not be an idea to contact them about this whole court case and say, hey, look, you need to cover this. Trust me, you need to cover this. This is not just about two sides and everything. This is about federal law. This is about how the courts and how the Levy County Sheriff's Department, how the police, how the CPS, and how all these governmental bodies that are in Florida, how they're neglecting to follow the rule of the law. They're disregarding their law, what they should be doing. Channel 20 should be covering this. They should be covering this. Because I tell you, somewhere down the line, like this needs to be publicized. Because, like, I think that the moment this is publicized, everything about Judge Grudge, everything that's happened, right? Channel 20 or some newspaper or some news channel should be covering this, because, like, the thing is, this is not just affecting these individuals that we all know, that we've all come to know, but it's going to affect everyone who lives in Florida, anyone in the States. Because once you start seeing corruption or possible lack of credibility or lack of interest of doing their job. I mean, the perfect example was watching that CPS guy turn up with that sheriff, and they were more interested in Aussie spray. All right, Aussie Jen, you take care, sweetheart. Take care, Jen. You have a good one. Oh, shit. Hey, Aussie Jen, just keep us up to date. Yeah, let us know what happens. Hope she's all right. And my hugs and well wishes to your mum. Yeah, just keep us up to date. Yeah, let us know what's going on, please. Well, Melody, the thing is, at the end of the day, if it's going to affect every single person in Florida, if it's going to affect, this could also be a bad effect for police departments. This could be bad for judges. This could be bad for courthouses. Everything that's happened, right, in Otter Creek, this can be really bad. Really, really bad. Because, like, if you've got one area doing it, one district doing it, what happens when other districts start doing it? What happens when you've got this type of corruption or this type of lack of empathy or lack of interest of actually doing their job? What then? Then you'll see a breakdown of everything. Then your First Amendment, your Second Amendment, or your Fifth, or whatever, your constitutional rights go out the window. Because if they don't care about them, what then? If you don't have a sheriff or a police officer or a judge or a prosecutor or a defense attorney or anybody caring about anything and just there to make a buck, and that's it. We've seen it. People will turn up, they will earn, they'll sit there all day, do absolutely nothing. They'll go home. Here, I just earned money today and I did nothing. I mean, it's just like people on YouTube, right? You come on here, people come on YouTube and, they'll just sit there, talk and look good, and, right? They make themselves look very provocative, or they'll talk very posh and try to pull wool over your eyes. And what they earn, £1 or $1 a day or something like that. So this is why I'm not monetized, because at the end of the day, this is not about the money. This is about the facts, the truth. Yeah. So, and you can't make this a living unless you can get as good as Mr. Beast or PewDiePie or someone else, right? You have to have at least 3, 4, 5 million subs to even have an impact, to even have, not even that, probably 1 million or 2 million or 3 million. If you've got 2 million subs and you get at least 1 million, you're looking at between $10,000 to $15,000 a month, if that. And you know what? And the fact I know why I know that, because I watched a video the other day, and that is the average. With 2 million views, you're looking at between $20,000 to $30,000 a month. Then you can call that an income. Then you can call that a business. But don't forget, you got the tax man who's going to come knocking on your door. You got everything else, all the percentage that YouTube will take and everything else. So is it really fair to say that you get 30 grand? No. Now just imagine someone who's only got a couple of thousand, or I mean, like Jeremy is barely hanging on with 700 plus thousand. When he goes over 1 million, or he gets like 2 million, I mean, he's getting views left, right, and center. Yes, the views are the views and the subs and everything else, right? But it's the amount of people. Now, if you take away, say, 500 subs, or you take away 1,000 subs, right, it will affect your channel. If you're a low channel, hypothetically speaking, if we look at Biscuit Boy, right, he's got 1,700. You take away 1,000, it will affect his channel. I mean, look what the Crampons did. They dirty deleted, and it took down their views by about 80,000, 90,000. Right? They lost what, $20? So there's a big difference. That's $20. Now, just imagine if you had 2 million subs. That $20 has now turned into probably 20,000 or 30,000. So trying to get up there to be famous and everything else, right, is only going to bring more problems, more headache. And the thing is, you can't just like do it as willy-nilly and, just turn up whenever you want. It's a daily routine. It's like you have to put content up continuously. And if you don't have the content, because after these court cases, for example, there's not going to be a lot of content going up on certain people's platforms. They're going to try and they're going to try it, and then they're going to burn themselves out. And that's one of the reasons why I decided very early on when I created this channel, it was going to be for gaming. And the only reason I'm involved in this is because I saw lies, I saw untruth, I saw scum, and one of them being a lawyer. And we all know who that is, aren't you, Deuce Boy? You absolute pleb. Mung. You're a mung. Yeah, and it's one of those things where people need to come to the realization is that, like, if you want fame, then do something outrageous to get yourself fame. I mean, look, the only reason, give you an example, Robbie, aka Swamp Lizard, aka the pleb, right, who seems to suckle on other people's titties. Now, the only reason he's got a following and the only reason he's got a bit of a clout is because he spent under a year, right, on Discovery with Swamp Bros. That's the only thing that he's got. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. And a lot of people don't realize that. He's lied through his teeth. He's dishonest. He's not one of these big swamp. What you saw on that program. If he was that, why is he not doing that? Why is he not down in the Florida, the glades, and working in the swamps, where his property is actually nowhere near the frickin' swamps? It's a farm. It's just a piece of land. I'm a bit confused now, Mitch. What's going on? Mitch, ignore people. Just ignore them. Well, it's not just that melody. It's not just that melody. It's not just that. Yeah, do a little bit more digging, and you'll find out what else. What else? No. Not just that. No. Oh, there's other stuff as well. I assure you of that. That I can tell you right now. That rugs were, yeah. But yeah, there's other stuff. Mitch, leave it. Just drop it. Don't worry about it. Ignore it. Please ignore it. Just ignore it. Ignore it, please. Everyone knows the truth. Yeah, I know it is, Melody. I find it bloody hilarious. Oh, and I'm glad you mentioned that. By the way, Lloyd's of London do not insure right individuals. What they do is insure production companies. Bum ba bum 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 ba bum bum bum. Just saying. Anyway, uh, Mitch, would you do me a favor? Just stop. Just stop, please. Just ignore them. Just ignore them, right? Because you're just upset. You're just upsetting yourself, right? And people are probably misinterpreting what you're saying. So just stop. Just move on. Stop. Don't bite. We've discussed this before. Okay. Don't bite. Don't acknowledge it. Just move on. Just like I said before. I know, I understand, Mitch. But what I want you to do right now is do what we discussed. Okay, I want you to ignore it. Just block them. Just block them out out the existence. They don't exist. Just ignore them. That's what they want. They want attention, and the less attention you give them, the better. Because you are better than that. We know the truth. You know the truth. I know the truth. We all know the truth. Move on. If you need to get up and just get some fresh air for 5 minutes, go and do that, and then come back. But let's just drop it, leave it. Let's just walk away from it. Okay? I know you can't start. I get it. I understand. I really do understand, my friend. So just remember, don't allow these individuals to get to you, because once they get under your skin, right, they think they have control, and they don't have control of you because you're a strong guy, right? They are just what they're trying to do, they're trying to affect you. And to be perfectly honest with you, you are way above them. Rise above them, right? Rise above them. They don't have anything, right? I already know who it is. Don't worry about it. Ignore them. They've got their own issues to deal with. You're above that, okay? Just do what I do. Smile and walk away, right? Because at the end of the day, they are not worth your energy. Right, because at the end of the day, I have in the last few lives proven that people will lie, they will be dishonest, they will be fake, they will try to get under people's skins, but when you actually retaliate with facts and truth, they will still continue to go on and on and on. And what you do, you just let them do, because now you have control. I have control of that chess game. I am in control of that chessboard. And so are you. You are in control of that chessboard, because we've had the conversation. We all have cleared everything up, and you have done nothing wrong, and you are a good guy. So just ignore them, because they have got nothing better to do. They don't have anything to entertain them. So they're trying to get aroused out of you. Ignore them. They're idiots. Uh, Roy, that's probably a good thing, because like there are probably channels out there who deserve your support, and one day you'll find those channels that deserve your support, and I congratulate you of actually taking that step. Um, you know, it's a good thing, but then again, you can also save money up to buy yourself a nice tank. Here's right. Let me explain something to you guys. I know that people use emotions to get reactions, right? Here's the thing: if you allow people to control your emotions or control your actions, because what do you mean? I deserve support. I don't need. I'm good, mate. I'm good. Don't you worry about me. I don't like lies either, Mitch, but I need you to listen to what I'm saying. I need you to just take a deep breath, close your eyes, take a deep breath, move away from there, and just listen to that beautiful Welsh voice. Just move away from the negativity and move towards the positivity. People will try anything to get a reaction out of you. And the less you react, the better it is, because they are not worth your time. You have done such a good deed. Just like Snowflower, you and Snowflower did such good deeds for Eric. You helped a veteran. Okay, you did very, very well. And I am personally proud of both of you. And I am very, very proud of everyone that has supported that endeavor to help Eric get that mobility scooter. And we're gonna move on. We're gonna go to the next person who, helping someone doesn't cost anything. That can be arranged. You'd be very, very surprised, Roy. You'd be very surprised. Exactly, I'm a go. Reaction is content. Why do you think I've moved on from things now? But why do you think that I am now in control of that chessboard? I am very content. I am very content. I can sit here and actually talk to you now directly, Mitch, and help you with this, because I'm not concentrating trying to always watch, what's going on, because at the end of the day, all right, YouTube for some people is life. For me, it's entertainment, it's reaction, it's interaction with other people, and also I bring my content. Now, in the future, it'll probably might move more towards gaming and basically local news, what's happening here in the UK. You know, obviously, I'm not going to cover local news, because then I may as well just give everyone my address. But Mitch, you're good. You don't have to worry about these people. Don't worry about these people. Just here's the thing. Every time something, like, here's an idea, right? And I want you to hear me. Every time this happens, every time someone gets under your skin or someone pisses you off or they're lying about you, turn it off what you're looking at, put your device down, or just step away from your computer, walk into the kitchen, get yourself a glass of water. Fill the glass up with water, and fill it up with half of water. Fill the glass up half with water, right? And then hold that glass, look at it, and then every gulp you take, you just remember one good thing that's happened, right? So you take one gulp, right? You helped Eric. You take another sip, or you never gulp, right? You've helped other people. You take another gulp. You've helped yourself, right? And then when you finish that glass of water, right, you'll feel better. You'll feel refreshed, and plus, you won't think about that crap anymore, because you've been thinking about the good stuff. And that's the best way to do it, because there's a lot of people out there who will use other people's weaknesses, emotions, right, to get to them. And then once you figure that one out, yeah. Mitch, I think you need to reword that comment. I'm a swinger first and ask later. Wait, what? Yeah, no. You mean you swing first, right? Okay. No. Well, there's not going to be any swinging here today. Yeah, I just seen right at the end, and you just said, Mitch, hey, there you go, mate. There you go. That's one way to cheer yourself up, you swinger. Oh God, that's funny. Now every time, Mitch, every time you turn up now, we're gonna go, oi, swinger's here. The swinger is in the house. Yeah. Anyway, guys, do you know what it's I think, guys, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for the most important thing this morning or this afternoon. All right, I think it's now time for coffee. What do you think? Mitch, Amogo, Melody, Roy, Ali, SMN, Kathy, Philip, Joseph. What do you think, guys? What do you think, Mary? What are we saying here? What are we saying? Are we wait, what? Swinging Mitch. What are we doing? Are we having a brew? Let's have a brew. Right, guys, I'm going to make a quick brew. You guys talk amongst yourselves. The lurker is here. The lurker is here. New name for Mitch. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Ankle weights. Yeah. Hey, Roy, just make sure that hose higher. Yeah, that's not going to happen, host picker. I'm not going to give away my zodiac sign. I'm sorry. Because that also gives away the month I was born. Right, but good try. Roy, make sure that you also get something soft to put around the ankle so it doesn't shave or rub. Yeah, just so you know, because that material that these bands come in is very strong. It's like nylon. So, yeah, unfortunately, host picker, I don't give that information out. Let's put it this way. I'm one of the good guys. Coffee time. Be right back. And also something else. Here's one thing that we need to remember. I just remembered something while I went for a pee. All right. Well, I went and visited the porcelain gods. All right. Here's this: is that a narcissist, all right, will press people's buttons, and then when that person reacts to their pushing the buttons or something like that, they will make you feel bad for reacting. And that is a narcissistic thing to do. So when someone attacks you or someone tries to call you names and stuff like that, this is what narcissists do. This is what people do to get the content or to get a reaction. And the best thing to do, if you know that's what they're doing, and the moment you react, they start by saying, well, it's why you attack? It's your fault. Then you know what they're doing, and then you know what they are. And unfortunately, some of the people that we trusted and some people that we put our trust in, right, are these type of individuals. Now, if say, for example, I know for a fact there's multiple things that I've done wrong in the past 4 months, 5 months, and with people I've associated myself with. My biggest mistake was that I put trust in people who took advantage of that, right? Not that I deliberately did it. There was on some occasions I deliberately, did it because I wanted to see what these individuals would do, and it turns out that I was right from the get-go. And there are some people out there who try to manipulate conversations to try to make me say things that could come back to what you call it, to make me look discredit me Now, but here's the thing: what these people have to understand is that I have basically downloaded the last 6+ months and of messages. So irregardless if they delete or remove or block or whatever they do, the evidence is there, and you can't falsify evidence because the fact of the matter is that you can show the meta information, you can show everything. Now, I'm not a hateful or spiteful person, but what I will do, I will always stand my ground, and I will always protect people who are being picked on and bullied on. And this has been going on for quite a while now, and we all know who these people are. And the thing is, this is where the differences between the good and the bad, right? You've got the crampons, you've got the swamp lizard, you've got Bruce, and you've got all these idiots, right? There's your ecosystem, the anti what the hell's ecosystem, or this little cult that they've got, and the cult leader is Deuce. But the thing is, here's the problem. There's a lot of people now on the other side of the coin who are showing the same treats as these individuals are. And when you've got someone who's piggy in the middle and doesn't sway either way, right, and just says it as it is, no matter what it is, yeah, you become a threat. And here's the thing: I like being a threat to people who lie. I like being a threat to people who exaggerate the truths. I like being that entity that they're afraid of because they know that I can call it out. And this is what you need to think about, Mitch. You are a grown ass man. You are a man. You are a good man. You have a heart. You've got a big heart, right? And these people are afraid of you because you can stand your ground. You have a big heart and you've helped someone. And what they want to do is they want to drag you down because they don't want to see you happy. Well, newsflash, my friend. You've got many people in this stream, in this group, in this community that frequent this stream, right? This person here, me. There's a lot of people in here who love you to bits for what you did and for the support you showed, Eric. And that's what veterans do. And a lot of people are learning from your behavior, my behavior, Eric's behavior, Roy's behavior, Joseph's behavior, because we are veterans. We have got our own problems. We've had bad years. We've had bad days. We've had bad experiences in our life. But when it comes to supporting each other, when it comes to being truthful and being honest and putting a hand out to help someone up, that's what counts more than what these assholes and idiots and insecure individuals say and do. So remember one thing, while we are having our coffee, while we're chilling out, is that you, sir, are a man. You are the man. You are the man. Remember that. And to the ladies who frequent this stream, the ladies in this community, you are queens, princesses. You deserve to be treated by a gentleman, to be treated correctly. You are not objects. You are human beings. And the thing is, you have every right to be here and you have every right to speak here. If there are people out there who take away that right in their channels or treat you differently because you come here, then you know that they don't deserve you. They don't deserve to have you present with them. Now, for me, it's not about, control of people. For me, it's about the interaction and it's about communicating. It's about you guys being here and having fun. That's what it counts. That's what it's for me. And yes, I'm gonna be going into gaming, and I know a lot of you don't like the gaming part, and I get that. I mean, I've had a request about the Star Wars helmet, and I probably at some point in the future, I probably might try to get everything and do a video of me actually setting up and prepping that helmet and turning it into a proper stormtrooper helmet. but I need to be careful because obviously anything Star Wars related, you know, has copyright, is copyrighted. So, but this, you know, so I have to call it something else, and I can only show certain things. But the end result you'll see. But on that note, I'm going to go and get my coffee. But remember one thing: there are a lot of people out there who are very insecure. There are a lot of people out there who need to give themselves boosts, and the only way they can do that is by putting other people down or attacking other people, so they can then feel safe and good in themselves. All right, and we already know a lot of those people. Just remember, be yourself. Enjoy being here. Enjoy being amongst people. You know, I mean, you know, I have made such good friends. My pretty is one of them. I respect that woman. You know, I love that woman to bits, and her other half as well. Right, and I've got so much time for her, and for other people as well. You know, and it's not fake. It's not, oh yeah, yeah, oh, I'll be nice, and then behind the back stab him in the back. No, 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 no. And I don't make, oh, hi. No, you know, I don't go into other people's streams and make out that, like, hi, you, how are you? Hi, Amo girl. Hi, Luca. Hi, Roy. How you doing? Let me slide. Let me just spread your ass cheeks there so I can kiss your ass a little bit more. No, I'm not like that. You'll never get that from me. You'll get what you get. Simple as. And that's what you need to remember, Mitch. Be you. Fuck them. Coffee time. Once I was a small boy. Once I was a small boy, I went down a road and had a little bit of chit. Then I tripped and looked at it and felt that I want to go home. I mean, yeah. Anyway, so there we go. Right. What a day. What a day. What a day. Yeah. So, something else as well. I've spoken to my pretty, and she has got Jesus. She's got a good story coming. Oh, and just so you know, when me and my pretty comes onto the stream, when we do the stream, I can tell you right now, okay, that I may have to set the stream to 18 plus. Because it's based on some stuff that is real, but we'll see what happens. Obviously, my pretty and I need to discuss it. It's just to make sure that we cross all the T's and I's, because I need to do research on this as well. But I tell you one thing, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And something else, there was a couple of based on true events that actually happened. The battle at the River Plate, that which is a war film. That's a good one to watch. And what did I watch? What was it? Wait. Please hold, your call's important to me. I watched it last night and I can't remember what it was. History. Hogan's Heroes. I've been watching that for a while. That's quite funny. Northwest Frontier. Okay, Northwest Frontier is a film. It's got Kenneth Moore and a couple of other stars in it. I also watched Midway yesterday as well. Um, you know, and yeah, it's funny. It's funny. Uh, it is absolutely funny. Hang on a minute. I just need to see something. Wait 1 second. Yeah. Oh. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, 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 dear. Look what I've just been sent. Ooh, 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 you stupid person. You stupid person. Someone has to rub someone's ego so they feel better. Oh, bless. Anyway, um, sorry. You just can't make this shit up. You just can't make this shit up, really. Um, wait, what's happened here? One, two. Yep, there you go. Done. Um, I forgot what I was going to say now. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So yeah, I hear that there's going to be a remake of the. Yes, I've heard that as well. Never heard. I've never heard. Never ended story. Yeah, Tora Tora Tora. That was definitely a good film. That was based on the December 7th Pearl Harbor attack, actually. Um, and in fact, it was actually the models they used. Believe it or not, I mean, I know that you could tell that they were models, you know, but the models they used, it took them months. It took them months to actually uh, recreate the actual models for that film. For the actual aircraft carriers that the Japanese air carriers, um, and yeah, so it took them a long time to get that. But I'm not going to get into film reviews and stuff like that. But I just thought if you want a little bit of entertainment on YouTube, yeah, go and have a look at that, because the thing is, you'll actually see stuff from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Believe it or not, you know, and it'll show you about the British Commonwealth, the British Empire in India and stuff like that. And it's interesting, right? Because if you watch these films, you will actually learn a lot of history. And this is what, because a lot of these films are based on historical events that took place. Um, you know, the big uprising, to try to unalive a child that was the crown prince or royalty. Um, you know, so all this stuff is quite interesting. But there's a lot of stuff out there that, like, you know, a lot of people seem to. Um, oh God, I remember that Red October Hunt for the Red October, and then they took the submarine up a very shallow river. Yeah, 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 yeah. Also based on a true events, defection. Like in the Cold War, there was a lot of defections, especially from naval or air force. You know, um, so yeah, Red October. It wasn't based on, but it was. Yeah, there was a that type of class of sub, and also yeah, it was about a defection. Um, but that was a good film. Sean Connery. Good morning, Miss Moneypunner. Yeah, Sean Connery was a bloody good actor in that. Crazy Ivan. That's when a Russian submarine, based on true events, that's when a Russian submarine does a right hard right turn. right? Goes that's a starboard turn. Yeah. Stephen King fan, never looked at the Barnard. Do you know what? Wait, was it Stephen King who done Christine, or was that John Carpenter? Who was it? Was it Stephen King who done Christine the car, or was it John Carpenter? Dum 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 bum 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 bum. Do you know what? All these films are starting to pop into my head. There was one film over here in the UK. Well, not a film; it was a series. All right, in the 70s, and I think it finished halfway through the 80s. I think it was called Blake 7. Blake 7 was a series about a spaceship and about a space crew, and it was freaking awesome. Yeah, Goonies. What else? What else I used to really enjoy Star Trek at one point, but Star Wars is always been fun. But Star Trek, because at one point they actually brought out Star Trek in cartoon, believe it or not. Weird. Then you had Sapphire and Steel, which was a TV series. Tales of the Unexpected was also a TV series, which a lot of Americans or foreigners won't know about. And then you had the K9 Widowmaker was based on the K9 Widowmaker. Yes, that's the sub that actually sank, and they tried to raise it, and it broke apart when they were raising it. But they did raise it. They actually did raise the K-19, yeah. And then what was it? The first nuclear British sub that sank, or was it the American one? There's also a film based on one of the aircraft that carried a atomic device that crashed and lost its load, lost its bomb bay load, and that thing is still somewhere out there. Twilight Zone, that was good. Do you know a lot of youngsters in them days when they used to watch programs like this? It was Stephen King novel. There, good. A lot of youngsters when you were younger and you watch some of these, like Twilight Zone or Sapphire and Steel. There was a lot of psychological. There was a lot of physics. There was a lot of biology. There was a lot of mathematics and everything else in these series. And the stuff you'd learn when you go to school and you'd ask your teacher, and your teacher would just look at you and go, "What?" And then the teacher would come back about 2-3 hours later and go, "Yes, okay," because he had to go and ask probably a physics teacher or biology teacher. It was funny. How many layers does a leaf have to produce oxygen? 7. Really? What? What about the human skin? 7. What? Yeah. I mean, it's like, it's really weird, but you put like a leaf under a microscope, it's got various different layers in different directions, right, to create oxygen from carbon dioxide. It's weird. It's weird. It's really strange. Yeah. Oh my God, Sergeant York! I remember that. Alfred Hitchcock. Do you know what? The only one I didn't like from Alfred Hitchcock was The Birds, because the thing is, like, what put me off of the TV series Alfred Hitchcock, the Birds, is when when they were driving through down the road, and then she's got these two little mining birds in that cage, and they're both leaning towards the different direction of the cars moving. That just put me off. But I like horror, but I like Turner and Hooch. Yeah, that was funny. That is freaking hilarious. That was a good film. I enjoyed that. Might explain why there's a FAFO generation. Yeah, that's probably why. That's probably why we're a FUBAR and a FAFO generation. Yeah, because the thing is, like, everything that we're seeing that's happening now. Has everyone got their coffees, by the way? Has everyone got their beverages? I mean, here's the thing. Like, at the end of the day, I know that people. One thing that I learned from this counselor's course that I've done, because you get a chance to talk to a therapist in regards of your course, and the thing is, the tutors are therapists, or counselors themselves. So when you sit down and you talk to these people, and I mean, like there was at one point I had to write an essay. I had to do one part of my counselor's course where you have to take a situation and analyze it and figure out hi Missy lady, good morning, good afternoon, and you have to analyze it and then write an essay or write your subnasas on it. So I did, and I handed it in, and he wasn't. She wasn't happy with it because she thought that it was not long enough, and I was like, well, you asked me for um, my input and a certain amount of words, and I think I had about 200 more words than I should have. And we sat down and over a Zoom conversation, we discussed it, and I actually showed her what I was actually discussing, and I showed her the individuals. I showed videos, the YouTube channels, and everything else, and I showed everything that I was talking about, and she was taken back. She was taken back by which I've already discussed in the past about the behavior and conduct of some people, and she's turned around and said, "Yeah," and then afterwards, like the second time we spoke, she turned around to me. She said, there's one thing that she doesn't like is the fact that people are using the mental health card, or they're crying wolf when it comes to the mental health card, to get attention and to get away from responsibilities of their actions. And I was like, okay, explain that. And she explained it in detail, and I was like, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. And she says, everyone does it, even I do it. I mean, I'm not scared of stating that I suffer from PTSD, and like any soldier or any member of the armed forces you come across, all right, suffer from PTSD, and so do civilians. But when you've got people who state they suffer from PTSD without the neurologist or the therapist or the psychologist diagnosing them, right, of having PTSD. Anything that's traumatic can be considered PTSD, but there's a different categories. But for people to use mental health as a ruse to, get sympathy or or circumvent, or it's wrong. It's wrong. But the thing is, when you see it, and the moment you question or you point it at them, uh, yeah, then that's when things go wrong. Um, and I've noticed that in a lot of people, and also I've noticed it in myself, because the thing is, there's times where I get off here, and I look, and I'm richly sitting there, and I'm wound up. And it's not because people have affected me. It's because I have held back. I have held myself back from saying things that I wanted to say. And I think yeah. And that's the problem. That's why there's a big difference between anyone who was in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, you know, um, because in them days, there was none of this snowflakiness. There was none of this woke. Everyone knew where you came from. Sexuality didn't mean that much. Religion didn't mean that much. Everyone lived life happily. And if you got into an argument, you got into an argument. These days, you can't say boo to a goose. The minute you say something, you're wrong. The minute you say something else, you're a racist. Say something else, you're a bigot. Say something else, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. And it's like excuse after excuse. So what they're doing, people are creating these little safe spaces or type of cocoons for a community. But what they don't realize is what they're doing. They're ostracizing themselves from society to a point where people just don't want to associate themselves with them, don't want to socialize with them, don't want to talk with them. Hi, Marlene. How you doing, sweetheart? I will give my queen a hug. and that is what's happening right now. This is what we're witnessing right now. It's because you've got various different generations. You've got people who haven't had the support when they did go through some traumatic issues. And when you sit on a platform and you portray yourself to be something that you're not, and then you get caught out, or someone sees discrepancies, or and this is exactly what's happened. And that's the problem these days. Because the minute someone says something, you're wrong. The minute you confront someone, you're wrong. The minute even if you ignore it, you're wrong. So in a way, you can't win. So therefore, that's why my mentality is, I come in all guns blazing, bull in a china shop, tiptoe around the china and everything, and wait until I get to a certain cutlery area, and then I just let rip. And people don't like that. And when the thing is, when you try to help someone, you can't be held responsible if they don't want that help. You can't be responsible if people don't want to listen. And that's the difference between there is a large gap in between the generations. That I can assure you of. I would say it started from like 2002, 2003. Actual fact, no, I say the turn of 2000. That's when last 24 years, last 20 years, everything's gone to shit. Everything's gone to crap. Yeah, it's a catch-22. Yeah. And a lot of people these days wouldn't even know what a catch-22 is. They wouldn't know the understanding of a catch-22. Or they go, oh, what's a catch-22? And there's actually a film based on a catch-22, actually. Wait a minute. As much as I like the internet, I think the social media has ruined it for a lot of people and seems to bring out the worst in people these days. Yes, it does. Tammy, you've hit the nail on the head. And the reason that is because when email and the internet came out, it was new for people, and I think these days people have become very complacent. They think that the internet is like an extension of their private life or their life. And what they don't realize is that everything they do is scrutinized. No matter who you are, where you are, what you do. Right? Everything now technology now has made it so insecure that unsecure, sorry, not insecure, unsecure. My apologies. It's made it so unsecure now that you could be sitting in a restaurant and someone can walk past with a device and steal your credit card details. You don't even have to take your credit card out of your wallet and just hover it over the payment scanner, and it paid, bang, done. There are people now who are putting ID chips in their hands or in their fingers. So when they go to pay something, they just hold it over and they pay it, bang, done. Like in their hands and stuff like that. I've seen it with my own eyes. Hi, Victor. How you doing? Oh, by the way, thanks very much for calling me Swamp Trooper yesterday. That was funny as hell, Victor. That was really funny last night. You actually put a smile on my face when you said that. Swamp Trooper. And then you ignored me. I was like, what, is he taking a piss or what? No. The biggest issue, I think, this is what's going to happen, and I speak from experience because I saw this in the 80s, right? And I was part of that community. There was a big problem with like groups. You had the mods, you had the skins, you had the yardies, you had all these different groups, and then one day. There was a collective of a couple of people per group minding their own business. Everyone got on. There wasn't any divide between these groups. It was just that we had different interests in music and stuff like that. And then something happened, and this a certain group attacked all these people. And the thing was, what they didn't realize that they were doing is they unleashed almighty hell from about what, a dozen to plus a dozen communities of different types of genre, different types of skin, different religion, and you had everybody going after this one type of group. And it just turned into a shitfest. And then we had and right after that, yeah, you had the riots, and one thing led to the other, and then that's when the divide started. It depends what type of stitch it is. If it's a dissolvable stitch, then no, because a dissolvable stitch does take a few weeks to dissolve. But if you take a picture of the stitch, and then the next time you go in and you ask your nurse or your doctor to confirm if it is a static or if it's a dissolvable stitch. If it's a static stitch, that means it's nylon, and that means what they have to do is cut it and then pull it out. Maybe they're leaving the stitch in because that part of the wound is not sealing correctly, or it's taking longer than it should. Okay, because don't forget, nicotine and caffeine and stuff like that slows down the healing process of skin. So there's probably a reason they've left it in. So I would, next time you go to see your doctors, just ask them and say, look, is this a static stitch, or is it a dissolvable stitch? If they say it's a static stitch because the wound is not healing correctly or it's not healing quick enough, then that. If they do then decide to take it out, it's not deliberate. They're leaving the stitch in because the wound is probably not healing as quickly as possible, as it should do. And don't forget, the older you get, the longer the skin or your skin takes to heal. So the next, I would recommend give your doctor a call or give your surgery a call to explain your concerns to them, and just ask them if they could do a little bit of a check if it's a static stitch, which means it needs to be removed by the nurse or a medical professional, or if it's a dissolvable stitch. And that's it. And then that's it. Then ask them to remove it if it needs to be removed. I mean, like I said, I mean, I'm not going to go on about this. A stitch is a stitch. Simple as. If it, like I said, if it's a static stitch and it's been left in, it may be for a reason. Maybe if they have forgot about it, then they probably missed it, or they probably have forgot about it. But it's not a big deal because all it needs is clip and then pull it out. It won't hurt when they pull it out. You probably might feel a little bit of uncomfort, but I've had stitches in my cheek, inside my cheek, in my mouth, outside on my arm, my leg, on the back of my head, above my eye. And when they pull out, I've had dissolvable, and I've even had staples. Now those fuckers are putting them in and taking them out. Yeah, so just ask them to remove it. If it's not needed, if the wound hasn't healed, right, then you need to keep it in. If the wound has healed and it should be removed, they will remove it, because the thing is, the material they use, what will happen, the skin around that stitch won't heal. It'll stay soft. That's why when they take static stitches out, okay, sutures for the Americans, when they take stitches out, okay, they come out very easily because the skin around that material won't heal. Yeah. And then after they take it out, it will then heal. It'll take a couple of days, and then it'll start sealing up. It'll start healing, and then there you go. There you go. I hope that helps. Yeah. Mate, what are we doing about? Are we talking about an external or internal? Because you're saying that you've got a stitch that hasn't been removed. That's external then? It's not the case just because of the stitch. It's just they just noticed it because they never read the notes properly to say I had one. Well, then go to pals. Complain to pals. Complain to pals that they, it's neglect. But the thing is, at the end of the day, it's one stitch, Musi lady. One stitch. Just go to your surgeon and say, "Oi, bend over, show them your ass, show them the stitch, and say, right, is that needed?" If they say no, right, take it out. Put a plaster on it, and that's it. There you go. That's it. Simple as. I know I shouldn't have done this, but when I went over to Iraq in 2003, I had stitches in my mouth, and I can remember the guy saying, "Yeah, they need to come out in 7 days." I was like, "All right then," and about fucking nearly just under 2 weeks, I was like, "Oh, what's that in my mouth?" And I looked and I went, "Shit, I forgot all about the stitches." So I went up to a mate and I went, "Do us a favor," and I gave him some sterile scissors and everything else and some what do you call them, tweezers. I said, "Do us a favor, cut them out and take them out," and he did. He took 6 out. There were 6 in there. He took 6 out, and boy, did I smile afterwards. That bloody hurt, right? But the thing is, they were taken out, and every day I used mouthwash to make sure that the area was always sanitized and everything, and just carried on doing my job. But that's me. So you phone up your doctors, go down there, right, and then that's it. Well, you brought your ass up richly. So there you go. I mean, it's like it's been. So how is everybody? I got my Marlin. I got my Marlin here. I have to jump off. See you around. Yeah, okay, Marlin. Take care. All right. She's probably up north, very north of Sweden right now. Probably gone past the Arctic Circle. So she's now famous. Anyone who goes into the Arctic Circle, you can consider yourself that you've gone to the topmost part of the world, the Arctic Circle, and that's where you can see the Northern Lights and everything. Yes, that's fun. So what else can we discuss? Phil, oh God, yeah. Do you know what I miss? Oh, what was that program called again? Not the Thunderbirds. It was We Are the Mistrons. We see it all. We are the Mistrons. What was that from? Oh God, there were some programs that I used to watch. Yeah. So I hope that information helps you, Mr. Levy. And at least now you can go to your nurse. And I would phone them up right now because this is probably around a good time to phone them and say, "Hey, look, I like an appointment for the nurse so I can come down and stick my backside in your face so you can remove a stitch." Captain Scarlet, thanks, Laura. I appreciate that. Captain Scarlet, we are. Oh God, I used to years ago. I used to like. You had also the Thundercats. What else did you have? What was that one with the robots, the balls? What was it? Oh, I can't remember. There's so many different programs. Yeah, yeah. But there you go. But anyway, yeah. Bruce has basically done it now. He's done. But here's one thing I want to say this. I am going to say it. How stupid can you be? I mean, seriously now. How stupid can you be to do exactly that? But one of the major things they're going to court for. I mean, why would you try to interfere in someone's business and income? Exactly. Joe 90, there you go. Why would you interfere? You've basically done exactly that, what you've been arguing about, that they haven't done. And then you go and do that. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to I mean, Kim Colson, hi. Everything's fine. Welcome to the stream. Everyone's happy. I mean, Missy Lady complained about a stitch. I mean, we had that picture to deal with, to remember, to have dreams of. You know. Well, he was supposed to do that. I think the time limits for discovery has gone and was done and gone. Wasn't he had to do that yesterday night? Wasn't like last night? Wasn't that the index for discovery? I mean, he's now out of time. He coffee, coffee, yes. He's out of date. He's out of time. So he had until what 12 o'clock last night, or was it the night before? And let's be honest, he's been avoiding handing over any of his evidence. He's been avoiding that for quite a while. And here's the thing: this is what gets me, right? They asked for discovery. Randy Socket asked for discovery, right? Both sides asked for discovery, right? Okay. So you gather all the evidence and you hand it to each other, right? So basically, both sides then have everything. But amongst all these motions and everything else, does anyone else notice that suddenly everybody had new cell phones, new laptops, new fucking everything? All right, SMN, you take care. Absolutely, I'll pass that on. Absolutely. You have a good day, SMN, and remember, a smile a day keeps the irritable and ugly people away. So here's my question to this. The fact that we all know that, like, when John Cook got arrested for that incident with Wes and Patty and that, right? They confiscated phones and everything else. And I don't know if you noticed, but Lynette was so desperate to get back into the other phone. And we know why, because she wanted to delete evidence. Now, here's my question. We know that the police, when they confiscate phones and stuff like that, they download everything on that phone. They download it as evidence. Right? When last night they had until 12 o'clock midnight to turn everything in, so they didn't turn nothing in. Yeah, Victor, that's it. They're done. I mean, now this can cause Bruce even more problems. I mean, what's new? But I find it quite interesting that, like, even when, or was it Jamie? Was the woman's name Jamie who had the RV there before? Quite a few years ago when they first moved, and she did exactly the same thing that she's done to everyone, accused her of God knows what. And basically, if you watch Lynette, she will have a phone in her hand, but she's got a phone in her pocket. Lisa, help. Yeah, so that tells me that, yeah, I mean, good luck getting all that. I mean, the thing is, the only way, I mean, and this is to be honest, the only way I think, yeah, I mean, here's the thing, Diana, and to everyone else. At the end of the day, if it comes down to it, Randy Socket can subpoena, he can go to court and subpoena the companies, like the cell phone companies and the internet and everything, and metadata, and he can then subpoena all that. I mean, it'll be a lot. Don't get me wrong. Over 6 months is I mean, 6 months, one thing, 2 years, 2.5 years. That's a lot of discovery. That's a lot of information. And the thing is, what I do believe is that if this also happens to Rabusi and to Jones and to Casey and all people involved who've been attacking Jeremy Hales, and I mean everybody, the crampons, aka the fleas, the walruses alone will be in so much freaking trouble. And that's when the RICO stuff comes into it. That's when it will come into it. The fact that Bruce approached Sarah after the fact that she gave a deposition and she's a witness to the case, the fact that he approached her without contacting counsel or asking permission to approach her, may it be her counsel or if she's represented by Randy. There was no permission given. The fact that like all this is an absolute clusterfuck of a situation, and Boost Boy has caused all this. But here's the thing: if you look past all what he has created, right, there's a chain of events. Right, he solicited this case. Right, he wasn't part of this case. He was butthurt because Silverman didn't give him any information, and ever since he's been involved in this, he has made mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, and not just him. Everyone who's been on that side of the coin has made mistakes, and there's people on this side of the coin who've made mistakes as well. I mean, the fact that I was able to call him out on multiple things, and he actually, he came through with that. He actually proved me right. The amount of times I've called it on his behavior and what's going to happen. The fact that he's now involved a federal convicted former attorney who thinks he is freaking Conan the Barbarian, who thinks that he can challenge anyone to mutual combat, who walks around with a kid's shield, sword, and helmet, who looks like he's Mr. Magoo in life. The only difference is he just needs one of those Ford cars from 1899 or the turn of the century. The fact that you've got a has-been journalist who thinks that, a little bit, he thinks he's got clout, who looks like a homeless individual, right? And is sitting in. I mean, you can't make this crap up. This. They need to turn this into a Hollywood film. I would rather watch The Wives of Atlanta, or Orange County than that. That I can assure you of, because at least then you're looking at something fairly decent. But all this is this motion that went in, this response from the judge. I called it. I expected that to happen. I knew that was going to happen. And you got a lot of people going and ahhing and stuff like that, and you're just sitting on that wave. This is why I sit in the shadows and I sit in the background and I just watch what happens, because at the end of the day, he's not going to have a license to practice law afterwards. And the fact that with the background of Richard Luthman, who was accused and made a big deal about accusing Jeremy of being anti-Semitic just because we all call Bruce Matskin Deuce Foreskin. It's got nothing to do with religion. It's basically we're taking the piss out of the guy, right? Because he's a fucking idiot. I mean, I call him Deuce Foreskin. I call him Doodlebug. I call him Deuce Boy. I call him BBB. I call him Bubbles. I mean, like, how many other people have called that? We're not racist. We're not discriminative. Bruce is just an absolute clown. Did you know what? If he had brains made of dynamite, he'd be too dangerous to freaking wake up, let alone hit a light switch and then spark a cigarette up, because he likes to smoke. Don't you, Deuce Boy? You like to smoke and you like that little drink once in a while, don't you, bud? Hey? We found that out a few months ago, one night when you just lost the plot and you started ranting and raving about Silverman and the $16,000 that he was owed for the representing Lynette Preston, and you got your arse cheeks in a twist because you could get all the information. Oh, poor diddums. And then you started posting and attacking him on that hate group. People, just go back. Just go back in history. This is why I said from day one, go and do your research. Don't go back a month. Don't go back 6 months. Go back a couple of years. Well, Deuce, well, all you have to do is go back to January last year. Just go back to January last year. You'll see. This is what I've been pointing out. This is why I say, people, when you post on that hate group, post anonymously, because you're taking away credibility of people who are just on a hate campaign. I mean, when I go on there, I'm just sarcastic. I just belittle and be sarcastic to people who talk crap, especially the anonymous posts. And if someone who's respectful, and there's a lot of people who've posted, I will respond very, very politely, and I will thank them, and that's it. But posting on there is a waste of time, because it's basically going to a public toilet. That's how bad it is. So yeah, and the thing is, if people post anonymously on there, and everyone starts doing it, right, you'll see the people who are posting anonymous will stop posting. Oh, and by the way, John Grims, welcome back from Facebook jail. It's good to see you again. FYI, because I know that you sometimes, lurk outside my stream. So it's good to see you again, John Grims Jr. Hope Facebook jail didn't sort of hold you up there too much. But, you've come in swinging, and you've come in posting all this stuff, and, don't make yourself center of attention, because people won't. Remember, people don't like other people who, yeah. But anyway, right. Let's finish off this coffee time with yours truly. And I hope, and I really do, I hope that all of you have a fantastic afternoon. We're not finishing right now, but I'm just saying. Remember that, like, the truth hurts, facts hurt. And over the last few weeks, oh my God, there's been so many. Oh God, I am glad I have moved on, and I've put a stop to a lot of crap, and I am now in control of that chessboard, and I decide how it works now. And one thing I am glad is that people will move on. People will find someone else to pick on, and the most important thing is always when you wake up in the morning, after you refreshed yourself and you've made yourself a coffee, and that, take a very long look in the mirror before you open your mouth, because you'll be very surprised how much that will help you through the day, because it will put you in a straight and out. It will keep you on the rails. It will help you centralize not just your mind, but your behavior for that day. And it will avoid the stresses that we all receive and feel during the day. Me. I do all the time. That's why I've always got a smile on my face. It's fun. It's fun. But here's one thing I do want to say is that, like, in the last few weeks, we've achieved a goal that I spoke to my queen last night, and she was so proud. She was so happy and proud of everyone, who helped Eric. And I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to, I know that money doesn't grow on trees, and I know that, like, we can't help everybody. But I think that, like, we should, yeah. I've got to say, I'll talk to my pretty, see what her opinion is. I'll talk to a couple of people, see what their opinion is about this. But I think there's more we can do. And even sometimes it's not just financial. Like, someone could say, "Oh, I got a spare cycle, or I got a spare this, I got that. I don't need it anymore. It still works, and this and this. You just need to clean it up, and there you go." Right? Things like that. Right? Or someone needs tools. Oh, well, I got a spare DeWalt drill. I've got a spare battery, and I got a charger. I don't need it anymore. There you go. Right? It's those simple things. It's those simple things. Those simple, helpful little gestures that can move the world. It richly picks up the world, and it just moves it a little bit. And it doesn't matter from what background or where we're from or anything. It's the fact that we are helping each other. The most important thing is that we help each other. When it comes to veterans, we all have the same mindset. We don't need to talk about stuff. Like I said, my friend, when when his mother passed away. One of my best friends, someone who I've known for many, many years, right? I didn't even hesitate. I jumped in my car, drove down there, right? The door was open and he was in shit. And I just grabbed hold of him and yeah. And I know I've been mentioning this before, 45 plus minutes on the ground, just holding him. And boy, he's not a small guy, but he knew I was stronger than him anyway. But the fact that I was there, I didn't care who was around. We were both on the floor. I didn't care. I really didn't care. Because that's what true friendship is. Right? All of us here are acquaintances. We just know each other because we've met this way. But I tell you one thing though, it doesn't hurt every single person here to just take a very long look in that mirror and go, would you drop everything you're doing at 3 o'clock in the morning and drive an hour just to be with a friend who's having a bad day? And if your answer is yes, without any comebacks, with any thought of getting something in return, you're not going to get paid for it. You're not going to get anything for it. You're not going to get nothing except probably a thank you when you leave. But would you do that? Would you drop everything that you're doing? You could be on top of your partner, having a little bit of carnal knowledge, right? And then suddenly you get that call and you accept that and you go, darling, I'll be right back. You get dressed. Yeah, you make your way. You just drop everything. That there is what you call a good friend. That's a friend. A friend is someone who will walk into your house, walk up to your fridge and help themselves to a beer. But what they'll do in turn, the next time they come around, they'll put a six-pack in there. A friend is who will take their shoes off and walk into your living room, put their feet on the table. But they will always make sure that they take their shoes off before they do it, and they will always clean up after themselves. A friend will be there when you call them and say, hey, I need someone to talk to. That's what friends are for. Now, acquaintances, right? We're strangers. You can do the same thing with a stranger. You can help a stranger. Sometimes, if you're sitting at a bus stop, just turn around to someone and say, you all right? You'll be very surprised. Sometimes someone just needs someone else to talk to. You'll be very surprised at that. You'll be very surprised at that. I talk to anybody. Me, when I go shopping, especially down in the corner shop, right? When I walk in there, it's like, hey, yeah, we all know each other because I talk to people. I communicate with people. And that's missing with all this. I don't give a shit about the people who don't like me. I don't care about them. But I tell you one thing though, even with everything that's happened, and that I have now got full control of their behavior and everything they do, right? Because I'm moving on. But one thing I can say, I've got full control. However, I would never ever put the phone down if I got called at 2 o'clock in the morning saying I need help. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And that's the type of person I am. But I'm also a type of person is that, how can I put this in a polite way? I'm also a type of person with not the fuck. I don't give a quarter and I will not end until my resolve is completed. If people want to judge me, then judge me on my actions. Don't judge me on what I say. And that should go for everyone. But don't take my kindness and my communicative positiveness as a weakness. I'm not here for that. I'm not here for the drama. I'm not here for the toxicity. I'm here to interact and meet new people and make new friends. And at the end of the day, when I finish this live stream, I'm going to go and play Armour. I'm going to go and decompress, have some fun. Then I'm going to do the washing up. Then I'm going to chase the cat around for half an hour and have a little bit of fun with the cat. And then I'm probably going to go and clean my car. And probably go for a drive. And then go shopping. And then come back. And then probably sit on the throne for 20 minutes and have my legs fall asleep again. There you go, Joseph. There you go. You know, that's the way humanity should carry on. All this, if people want to act like the way they do, then fine. It's you have the choice to accept it or not. But the first step is to be real to yourself. Be truthful to yourself before you are to other people. Because here's the thing: you can get called out very quickly, and as you've seen over the months that I have been live streaming, that I've been communicating in various different ways, is that it's very easy for me to see the fakeness and to call people out, and I will continue to do so. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, Walkies and Ewoks, we're now going to question time. But because I forgot to put the sign up, go ahead, ask questions. And host picker, no, I'm not going to give him my zodiac, my my zodiac sign. But you can have a guess what I am. It doesn't mean I'll say yes or no, but you can have a guess. And you know something? Someone said something. Actual fact, I got something to say. I was actually taken back by this comment last night. I talked. So there's some people who've contacted me since they've known me on this stream, and some people contact me and talk to me, and and I'll be very very honest with you. I'm very humble about with this, and it's somewhat embarrassing, but I'm very humble and very appreciative of this comment that was said to me last night. This individual said, you are the only stream where I feel like I can be myself and that I can talk. And I was like absolutely taken back by that. That hit me in the heart. That was like, wow. And what hurt the most was the fact that this individual had to say that privately. The fact that individual had to say that privately, and knowing full well that I accept everyone here. No matter no matter of your failures, your inabilities or anything, you are who you are, and I will accept you for who you are. But to hear that made me so proud that I have actually gave out that type of sign, a signal that people can freely be in my stream and be part of my stream and feel free to be who they are and to speak freely without being judged or criticized. That made me so proud. So I just want to send out to that individual and everyone else that thank you for your trust. Just that's it. I'm not going to ask kiss you. I'm not going to I'm not going to ask for anything. I just want to say thank you very much. And there you go. And don't make your head go too big. Don't walk around here with a big ego, because you're not going to get that. I'm not going to rub your ego. But again, to this individual, I just want to say, you're welcome. That's the way we rock here, And I know people are not going to like this. I know people are not going to like me. I know. And it doesn't bother me, because the more people who dislike me, it means that you're not paying attention to other people. You're not picking on other people, because I've got broad shoulders and I've got a very, very thick skin. Yes, I had some weak spots when I lost, obviously around Christmas, when I lost a very close friend, and yeah, I'm a human being, but that's over. Yeah, it's just like the Klingons. It's just an empty shell. Nope. It's just it's like the Klingons. Once they move on, it's just an empty shell. You can jettison it out of the airlock. It's the soul, right? And she's now in a better place, and she's having some fun, and I'm going to celebrate her life. And there you go. Yeah. Jesus Christ, that guy's skinny. Yeah, and there you go. And don't forget, apparently I'm an alien, so Lisa. So therefore, I wasn't born on this planet. I was created and then brought to this planet to watch you. And you know something? Someone sent me a picture. This is freaking hilarious. So I'm just gonna show this picture. I don't know if I've showed it before. No, I don't. My brain's just gone. Bleh. I've decided, right, to start an MC club. So all you people who can be part of this, right, you can come and join and become parts of Sons of Arthritis, a Brufen chapter. Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. Thanks very much, SMN, for that picture. That's appreciated, dude. You can't go wrong with that crap, can you? Sometimes his sense of humor is brilliant. Yeah. There you are. That's freaking hilarious, mate. That is absolutely hilarious to have that, Sons of Arthritis. Ibuprofen. What paracetamol chapter? I think. Well, yeah. Ibuprofen chapter, paracetamol chapter, tramadol chapter. What is it called? God. I mean, you know what? You could make somebody. Can you imagine riding around with that on the back, and you go past the Hales Angels, the Mongols, or the Outcasts, and they see that, they will piss themselves laughing. That would. I tell you one thing. That would be the funniest MC club in the world. Yeah, I think I'm. Yeah, I've got an idea. I'll talk to my boss. I'll talk to the wife, my queen, and find out where I stand. Because that I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna do something. Oh, this is gonna be funny. I'm richly gonna get that done now. And I've just had a freaking good idea as well. I've just had an idea. Why are you guys trying to guess what star sign I am? Considering that I am not going to tell you. You can guess whatever you like. You can call me anything you like. It's like oh yeah, let's try and figure out all these. Let's try and figure out what your star sign. Let's try and figure out where. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I hope it is. I hope it is. I really do. I really do hope it's a pink. I hope it does. I can just imagine Sart Mitch walking into a motorcycle shop and going, I want this, and this, but I want it pink. Can you imagine then suddenly seeing, oh yeah, of course, I know we're having fun. And can you imagine Sart Mitch driving out of a showroom on a pink motorbike? Yeah, the North Star. Yeah, yeah. Oh shit, yeah. Oh, ow, ooh, ammo go in the heart. Really? Well, thank you very much. You've made me younger than I am. 105. Thank you so much. Yeah, I was around when the British Parliament first started. Yeah, yeah, I was there. I was there when you know when the first automobile was created. Yeah, yeah. When I came out the salon, and instead of getting on my horse, I got into my Ford, which is 4 horsepower. Oh shit, this is funny. But yeah, can you imagine walking out of a saloon at the turn of the century and you have a choice between a horse or horses with four wheels, 2 horsepower? That's brilliant. Going at 20 miles an hour, right? Yeah, I just pictured that. That's funny. Uh, and now, like, cars go at 300 miles an hour if you're on a straight line. The only problem is, like, you need an ejector seat. But how come the VA didn't give him one? I don't know. You have to ask him that. But I do know that he had issues with the VA and the VA. And from what I've been hearing, your VA is as much use. Seriously, they're no use whatsoever. It seems because they're privately because I don't think they're actually part of the you know. I think they should be either privatized or institutionalized by the military. So basically, instead of going to the VA, you go to your depot or to your camp, and you go through them. Right? That's what I think should happen. Is that, like, basically, if you've got any medical issues or anything, or you need help, right? There should be an organization that, regardless of, you know, rank or corps or whatever, you go to them. They fucking then help you. They then put you in contact with a medical or financial or whatever, and that you walk away with something in your hand. Because at the end of the day, you have served your country. Your country is spending over multiple billions or millions of dollars on defense. But it's like trying to get blood out of a stone when you go to try to get psychological help, mental health help, or you're trying to get physical help, or you're trying to get financial help, or anything else, right? They spend $30,000 for a hammer, but they're not going to give a veteran who needs a bit of support. I know, like, AVA, has issues. I know that, the Angry Vet and TC and many veterans who don't trust the VA because of the way they've been treated. And the thing is, like, Angry Vet, right? He was being charged for phone tapping because he recorded the way he was being treated in the VA. This is from what was explained, and it sounds like the VA are trying to, the less they do, the better. It's like, well, once you're out, that's it, and that's the problem with the military. Once you serving, they'll make sure that you go to the dentist. They'll make sure this and this and this. But as soon as you go out, as soon as you leave the military, they just drop you. It's just the same thing here in the UK. In the MLD, right? I mean, you can contact SAFA, you can contact the Royal British Legion, you can contact all these charities and all the benevolent fund. You can contact them, and they will always put hurdles and hurdles and hurdles and hurdles in front of you. Right? I mean, I had a situation where I needed to get there was a situation where I needed help, and in the end, I phoned up my former colonel, and I phoned him up and I said, "Look, this is the problem I got. I'm getting stonewalled. This is what's happening." He then made contact through his side, and then I got the help. But just because he did it from his side, right? And if that's the only way a member of the armed forces or any branch, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, whatever, right? If that's the only way you are going to get help from your country that you serve, right? Then don't be surprised when it comes to when the shit hits the fan in that country, and they start asking for people to come and help. That these people that you're asking to help are actually standing on the opposite side. Because at the moment, say for example, here in the UK, with all the troubles all the issues that are going on, there are over 268,000 former soldiers from the 1990s all the way up to present day. That is a lot of pissed off guys and girls and whatever and other. There's a lot of pissed off individuals. And just look at the politics in the UK, the politics over in Germany, France, Italy, and Europe. In Europe alone, okay, look what's happening with the divides of Poland, Romania, Hungary, and everyone else. And then now in America, right, everyone was crying about, oh, we don't like Trump, oh, we don't do Trump this and that, but you allowed a party who was in power, who systematically destroyed a lot in America. And now, right, Trump is back in the driving seat. Yes, people don't like him because he's repetitive, and he goes on and on and on, right? And he goes on about how much gas and oil you've got in that country. About you're going to be number one this, you're going to be number one there. This is the American the American dream, right? That you always think that you're always number one. You're not. But when it comes to politics and the way that things are going on over in the States, here you are better off with him in the White House than with anyone else who's been there. You don't need Harris in the White House. You don't need Clinton, Joe Biden in there. I mean, look what's happened there. Look at the conspiracies and all the stories that happened with Hunter Biden and everything else. Look what they did to Trump over 2 years before, right? And he still won the election. This is when veterans now need to step up, need to stop whining, need to stop complaining. They need to step up to the plate now, and they need to approach your governors, your senators, the people who represent you, and you need to start pushing them to get a bill into Parliament, into your Parliament in the United States, to sort out the VA. This is now the time to do it. This is now the time to communicate with your representative, your political representatives from your districts or whatever, all right, and get them. And here's the thing: using the violence or using aggression or anything or shouting and everything won't get you nowhere. What you need, right? You need to create communities. You get speakers for those communities who will then approach and speak on behalf of all of you. And then you go from there, right? Because I'll tell you one thing. If you've got 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 former troops going, hey, we're not getting help, this, people are going to look at you and go, oof, right? Because we already know about all these snowflakes that why are you filming or why are you in here, what's this and that, and they take away your rights of freedom of speech and everything else, which we've seen. It's obvious. You take it step by step. You get a couple of people who represent 6 or 7 districts. You get 6 or 7 people into, you find out what all these guys like, the 60,000 inhabitants of those districts. You then take their complaints. You then finalize it. You word it. You send everyone out what you're going to do. Everyone is going, yep, brilliant. Then you go and you all meet up. All the districts meet up in one place. Then you all finalize what you're going to say Then you go to your governor. You make an appointment to go and see your governor. If the governor goes, don't want to care because I'm already getting a downhander and getting a backhander, then what you do, you go to the media. And if need be, you stand outside the White House at that fence with a placard saying, hey, Don, we need to chat to you about the way the VA is treating us. P.S. There's 180,000 former members of the armed forces of the United States Armed Forces who need your help. PPS, we love you. PPS, get a wig. You know what I mean? It's one of those. All this aggression, shouting, and everything else doesn't work. And then when you've got people who are supposed to represent veterans or support veterans and stuff like that, okay? And there's many charities out there who do that. However, unfortunately, there are some of them who just do it because they want the money. And it happens in every country. And unfortunately, the only way you can stop that is by having real organizations who can step in and go, right, enough's enough, and close it down. Right? There are a lot of veterans who have mental health issues, who suffer from PTSD, and but there's a lot who play the game. And anyone in the military or any veterans out there who know what I'm talking about, they will know exactly what I mean with that wording, playing the game. Okay, it's just like when you're in the military, you play the game. When you go on a course, 99% of the well, I'm not well, okay. I'll say 85% of the courses you do in the military, okay, right? You go there and you play the game, right? Yeah, it means that you'll stand there in front of the instructor for 1 hour. He will be playing the game. You will play the game. So just in case someone comes in, right, you'll start asking questions, then start interaction. As soon as that person leaves, you then play the game, right? Because every single course has an open book question and answer. So that means when you do the course, obviously you have to do monkey see, monkey do, right? You have to repeat what the instructor shows you to do, blah, 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 just to make sure that you're competent and confident enough to do it. Then you do your test, you've passed the course, go back to your unit. Right? And then it's up to you to continue with that training. It's just like if you do like a pioneers course, which I've done, or you do a BCDT instructors course, which I've done, or skill at arms course, which I've done, or drill instructors course, which I've done. Okay, you everything you do, right? A course is always an open book, depending on the type of level. Now, when you're dealing with stuff like when it comes to about other people's lives or health and safety, that's where the buck stops. That's where it's not playing the game. You need to step up, and if you make one mistake, you get RTU'd. And for you civilians, what RTU'd means is return to unit. Right? That means you get booted off. I've had courses where I've been on. Right? I've had people turn up who are doctors, medical personnel. Okay, medics, class 3, 2, 1. Right? They've turned up and they couldn't even distinguish between a spiral fracture, a compound fracture, or an open compound fracture. And they got RTU'd. Right? So this is where the line stops. And the thing is, when someone says playing the game, right, that means that like you just play the game. So you can have 20,000 troops standing in capital city silently, but you will have a dozen senior NCOs, officers, retired, they will be standing and they will be the voice for those 20,000. And then when a dignitary or someone comes out of Parliament House or out of that building and they come to talk to you, suddenly you got those like a dozen people will suddenly turn into 3 people. And then you will have the person who speaks, the person of representation, and the person to support the representation and the speaker. Job done. That's how you get your word across. All these demonstration riots and all that crap and talking shit and conspiracies and everything else, right? And the VA in the United States, so far from what I've learned, don't care. They choose who they want to support and help. They choose who they want to treat. That's what I've seen. Over here in the UK, I can't speak for any other country in Europe, but over here in the UK, when you are retired or you're a former soldier, right, or a former sailor or a former airman or whatever, right, people don't give a shit. They don't care. Oh yeah, do you kill anyone? They don't care. People who are proud to be American, or people who are proud to be British, or people who are proud of their ancestry and their country, no matter what color you are or what ideology you are, right? People who care will thank you for what you've done. In America, they say thanks for your service, and they'll say over here they start saying that as well now. And it's I serve the guys left to right of me. I did it because I wanted to. But when it comes to supporting veterans, there shouldn't be any argument. There shouldn't be any question whatsoever, because there is proof that a lot of veterans are not getting the support. There's a proof that when veterans leave, they are going to leave with baggage. And once you leave, or once you get your discharge papers, or once you get that retirement, or once you get that payoff, yeah, that's it. You can go and join your social clubs. You can go and join your regimental association clubs and everything else. yeah, and meet up with people that used to be arseholes to you when because they were different rank to you, right? You turn up there, all it is a social drinking place. That's where you get pissed, like you used to when you were still in. You're going to have meals. Once in a while, you'll have really good big regimental meals, association meals, where you turn up in a bow tie, black tie, and ball gown, where it's actually properly like where a ticket for that meal will cost you £200 or $200. Yeah, but the thing is, you are paying them. You're still paying into the system where there was only twice in my whole time when the day I retired, the day I left and I retired, right, where I actually had things paid for me. And the thing is, because I don't drink, and also because of the food they were serving, I couldn't eat. I basically sat there and ate freaking baguette all night. Garlic bread, by the way. Actually, it was garlic bread. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, and they made me like a large plate of chips and salt and vinegar. Yeah, anyway, but that's by and by. In America, the VA, they've always had a reputation. But the thing is, like, it's not all the time. Not every single situation is a bad thing, right? So there you go. There you go. That's all I can say. Is like, if you want a problem solved, now is the time to approach it. Now is the time, because Trump, from what I have seen, has really done a lot. He's doing a lot. There's a lot of stuff he is doing that should have been done a long time ago. And then there's stuff he's doing that he technically, who cares? And the thing is, this rumor about leaving the UN and doing and everything else, and leaving the human rights thing, right? Fine, crack on. That means, like, when American troops go overseas again, they don't have to worry about the rules of engagement. That means the Geneva Convention or the rules of engagement go out of work, as long as they watch about Article 4 about the Human Rights Act, where every life has a right to live. But from past history, we've seen what happens. And the worst part is that, like, over the last 10 years, I've seen how politics has gone down the drain. It's not about the people. It's not about the country anymore. That's regardless of what country you come from. It's all about the power. Just like these idiots on this, all these idiots who think that they can get rich, out of all this negativity and everything else that's going on. But they don't realize that this train is coming to an end. There's going to be a station at the end, and that train is going to stop. The train conductor is going to get off. Hi, Digi. The train conductor is going to get off, and then you're going to walk away, and then you're going to be sitting there. No trains moving, nothing. And then what you're going to do? And the fact is, the time where you started and the time when it finishes, everything you do, say, and your actions and everything else are gonna decide on what you are at the end of all this. But when it comes to people's health and people's not just physical but mental health, the VA have failed. The horror stories, the stories I have heard, it's. And the thing is, everyone whines and complains about it, but I don't see anyone stepping up to the plate. I don't see anyone, like a 500,000 person or 50,000 person line of people just flooding the streets and walking from wherever they are, walking from the top of America or from LA to Washington, right, with signs, actually making a statement. There's no need to be violent. There's no need to break the law. You just walk. Just tell every single county, right, we're walking through your county. This is what we're doing. We're not aggressive. We're not hostile. We're just making a statement, like they did in the 50s and the 60s, and just walk. Walk from LA to New York, or roll, or be carried. And represent your regiments, represent your arms, represent, what you were in, and do it with pride. Because at the end of the day, you spent all those years, all that time wearing that uniform with pride, doing as you're told, working your way up the ranks. So don't neglect everything and the creeds and the core values that you learn. Don't neglect that. If you go from A to B, oh, trust me, Mitch, it may not be the 60s. This is 2025. You can still do that. And you can still get us, because trust me, if people can complain and whine and go on the internet and say this, this, and this, right, and they get the notoriety or they get the attention, trust me, when you've got 20, 30, 40,000 people who've been neglected by the VA walking quietly, friendly, legally, and you inform the newspapers and that, oh, I can assure you, you will get noticed. I can assure you of that, because that's the thing they fear are the demonstrations or the representations of people who are not violent, who are not aggressive, who are not breaking the law, and all they're doing is walking down the side of a highway or something like that, representing and saying, hey, this is what's wrong. And I'll tell you one thing, silence is louder than shouting. This is why I used to have one motto for my young'uns, for my guys: never shout. Be forceful, be assertive, be direct, but never shout. Because the moment you start shouting, that's when people start switching off. And when people start switching off, that's when they start making mistakes. And when they start making mistakes, it's got a chain reaction and it affects everybody. There you go. I'm going to have some coffee. Coffee. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, I have a massage. Massage. Oh, I've got a... Ooh. What the hell? I'm not even going to ask what you sent me. What the fuck is that? You'd be very surprised. You'd be very surprised how quick and how well you can get your message across. And here's the thing, though. What you have to remember is this: there are people out there will try anything and do anything to disrupt what your message is. Now, the perfect example: Eric needed help for over 2 years. No matter what he did, he didn't get any help. All right. And don't get me wrong, I did my observations and everything else. And for helping Eric to get to where he needed to be able to have more mobility, more access to more mobility, was the most important thing. Now, here's the thing: it took all of us, everyone who's been in my stream or everyone who's been watching, and everyone involved, who even if it was just one buck or whatever, everyone should give themselves a tap on the shoulder and say thank you for themselves, and give themselves a PLB, because that just shows you how easy it is to help someone. Now, there's bureaucracy, there's red tape, there's paperwork and everything else, right, with the VA. But why is it that complete strangers can help each other, but the other side can't? Does that make any sense? But anyway, we digress. I'm done. Right, back to you guys. You can chat now. I'm going to get off my soapbox now. I've said what I needed to say. Um, I've got quite a few vets in here right now, and I bet you, I know for a fact that every single one of you understand exactly what I'm saying, and you know what I'm saying. And if you don't, then you served in the Jesus Army or the Salvation Army. Who knows? Yeah, well, it happened. We achieved it. We move on. We don't dwell on the past. We don't have to waste our time on the past. We've achieved to help someone. We've achieved the goal, and we move on. It's just like a mission. You get your mission brief, right? You get told what the mission is. You get the mission is then repeated. The objectives and what you want out of it, and you move on. Done. That's as simple as it is. Quick battle orders. That's what we did. There was a quick battle orders. We sort of done it out. I explained the mission, and we achieved that mission, and we walked back with mission complete. So we should all be proud of ourselves, Mitch. And you, especially you should be also proud of yourself. Simple as. There's no ifs or buts about it. I'm not going to rub your ego. You're not going to rub mine. We're just going to move on. Let other people do what they do. Fuck them. And you hit the nail on the head, but fuck them. We got better things to worry about. Welcome back, Nashua. And that's one of the things that we all should remember. Remember, people, when you turn this internet off, when you turn your computers and everything off, and you walk through town, just look at people. Just think that the situation they could be in. They'll sit in a cafe, and you'll see people sitting there looking out the window, looking at their phone, or just sitting there talking. You don't know what's going on in their life. They could be having a whole freaking nightmare. They could be going through a divorce, or they just lost a loved one, or they just lost a job, or they just found out their partner's cheating on them, or, God knows what. We don't know. So never, ever assume unless you know. And always be ready to go, hi, you okay? Because I tell you one thing, those magic words, are you okay? Is an open invitation for that person to then turn around and say, yeah, well, funny you say that. No, not really. And then you can you can connect to a complete stranger, and then you can talk to people. But you still need to keep your wits about you, because some people will use that to try and con you out of something. But trust me, there's people, I'll give you an example. And I've seen a video of this as well. I went to visit a friend in Germany, and I sat in a cafe, and I was having myself a large cafe, and I had doppel pommes frites mit doppel currywurst. So basically, I had double fries with a double currywurst, which is a sausage that's sliced up, and it's got like sort of spicy sauce, right, peppered sauce over it, and it's got like paprika all over it. All right. And I'm like sitting there and I'm feeding my face. I am richly hungry. So when I finished that and I finished my coffee, it was really strange. I got my tray, and I put my plate and my cup and cleaned everything up and put it on there. And I started walking back and I put it on. There was this lady who is employed to go around and do that. And when I put it around, I turned around, and it was like a standoff from like a Western. She stood on one side of the table. I stood on the other side of the table. There's an old couple. There's an old couple sitting there having their lunch. I mean, these guys must have been 200 years old each. And they were having their lunch, and they look up, they look at me, look at her, and they go, woo, 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 woo. And I said to the lady in German, I said, what's the problem? She went, I've never seen any customers do that. And I went, what do you mean? It says, well, here people leave it, and that's why I'm here. I come to clean it up. And I went, well, I always got taught to clean up my own mess. And she went, thank you. And I went, not a problem. And I turn around and I walk away. and I start walking past the because over in Germany, like the chippy, they're very very nice, and I thought, you know what, I'm still hungry, so I walk back up to the counter, I stand in line, I get to the counter, I said to the lady, I said, yeah, I'll have a half a chicken, a currywurst, chips, and I'll have some potatoes, like some I can eat a lot, just for the record, and I got myself another coffee, but this time I got myself a large Coke. And I sat down and to the table to the left with the couple, and the gentleman turned around to me and he went, "Where are you from? Because you're not German." And I went, "What?" He said, "Where are you from? Because you're not German." Because and I was absolutely taken back by what he said. He said, "Because no German would have done what you did." And so I spoke to him and told him where I was from, and he was like so impressed the fact that I could speak German and that. And we had such a beautiful conversation. In the end, I moved down the table right next to her so we didn't have to shout. And I'm eating away and he's eating that, she's eating. And she turned around and she said, so what? So how did you learn German? I explained how I learned German. And I said, by the way, the first three words I knew in German, I went, that, and that. And she just laughed. She just laughed. I mean, to hit, and we had such a fantastic time. And look, you know, they got up and walked off their way, and I got up and finished my food, and I walked my way. Now, how much did that cost me? How much did that cost to just talk to them without even how much did that cost? Did that hurt? Was I trying to grift or anything? Eh? Not a thing. Not a thing. And if you ever do go to Germany, you have to try, right, Jäger Schnitzel, which I don't think you're allowed to say anymore. You say Schnitzel, right? You got Jäger Schnitzel, you got currywurst, you've got the Senf, which is the mustard over there. You've got Eisbein and sauerkraut. You got try that. Oh, and I don't drink alcohol, but I do know that people have said that Weizen beer, Weizen corn beer, is quite good. It's heavy, but it's good. It's like Guinness. Oh boy. Oh wow. I have been live for okay, 3.5 hours. Guys, I am really, really sorry. I didn't realize I was Jesus Christ, where did the time go? Wow. Holy crap a bit. Right. Anyway, right. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so if there's no questions, I'm gonna start cleaning up and making my way. And all I want to say to everybody, and I'm going to do this the right way now. I'm going to do this the proper way. I'm going to do this as a host, right? Is I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody who came and watched, and that includes you trolls and haters. Thank you very much for your watch hours, and thank you very much for your views. To all the fantastic people who've come into the stream, and to the people who are new to here, if you stay, welcome to the Wolf's Den. Welcome to the community, and to everybody. Well, that's not my fault. I just want to say again, thank you very much, and remember, like, you're always welcome. You know, and wow, I can't believe that. Like, you know, I need to get one of my mods to keep me up to date on the time. You know, but guys, thank you so much for being here, and again, take care of yourselves. Remember, right, to always think about yourselves before you worry about other people. But at the same time, always think that, you know, people could always be worse off than you. Right. On that note, I'm going to leave you with a song that was created by DJ Rattus, and I think a lot of people like that song. So I'm going to leave that to play while you guys. Salam alaikum. Malaikum salam. Mashallah, inshallah, habibi. Inshallah. Malaikum salam. All right. Anyway, so you guys take care. And I bid you adieu, and I'll see you on the next. You take care as well, Joseph, and you be good and look after yourself. And remember, guys, a smile a day keeps the bad people away.
Spawn trooper riding in the night, heart of gold but ready to fight, standing tall, doing what's right, shining truth like a firelight. Daddy's wisdom running deep taught me promises I gotta keep, breaking chains, leaving pain behind, calling out the crooked kind. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies, no more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. Ain't no fear when I'm around. Justice stands on solid ground. One last chance to make it right, or face the reckoning tonight. In the dark, where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies, no more secrets in disguise. Second chances, they wear thin. Spawn trooper rides again. In the dark, where shadows creep, truth rings out, it cuts so deep. Ain't no price to make me sell. Standing strong, I know too well. Oh, the truth cuts through the lies, no more secrets in disguise. Second chances,